Yeah,
What's up
it's
with it?
time. It's
We in there.
time.
We in there.
In the words of
What's
Benji,
happening?
we are like swimwear. You know what
We
I'm
in
talking
there
about?
like swimwear. We in there. You know what I'm talking about?
Hopefully
We
the
back.
swimwear is clean. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, listen, they be in that little chlorine pool, you know what I'm saying? So folks
Whew.
be, you know what I'm saying? I've come to a sad conclusion, fam. A lot of grown folks don't be watching. Never mind. Never mind. We supposed to be out here talking about music, fam.
Hey, man. You know what? That's why I stopped going to public swimming pools, bro. Like, hey, if somebody got a pool at their crib or something like that, I'll go to, I might go swimming at their crib at a private pool. But you got the apartments got the pool? No, you ain't gonna see
Department,
Big Ken in the pool at the apartments up the street.
department.
I ain't
Hey
that ain't
man, listen,
happening.
listen, it's a struggle out here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. All I'm saying is you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you discover some things when you get to 45. You know what I'm talking about. So
Yeah. Hey, some exciting news today, y'all. We are testing out the link on IG. So if you are following our IG page, you can go there now to check it out. IG, they cut you off after an hour, but the streaming network that we're on is talking to IG right now. So hopefully by the time we return in February,
yes,
and we're
sir.
live, it will be, long enough for us to, have the whole show live because we usually on here about 2 hours. So,
Right,
but today, first time they're allowing it. So we want to make sure that, we can at least be seen on there first, a
right,
test run,
right.
a
A
test run.
test run. Make sure we're
So,
legit. Because when we
yeah,
come back next season, you know what I'm saying, we want to be able to hit all the platforms with with the show, with the content. So you know what I'm saying. So
indeed.
I'm trying to find
Indeed.
us on. I'm trying to find us on there. They better be running us live right now.
Yeah. So, if y'all are not following our IG page, go ahead and go to our IG page, the Fiyah Session on IG. Like and subscribe to that page as well as our YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the people who are already checking us out on our YouTube page.
For sure.
So if it's not working on IG,
Let us
you
know,
you
fam.
already you already checking us out. So just know that when we return in February, it will be working.
Facts,
Trust
facts,
me. So we
facts.
will
We're gonna
make
be
sure
ready to
of
roll.
that. Yeah. Yeah. So, but you know how to get us anyway. You already got us on YouTube. Most of you all, if you don't, go there. If you're on Facebook, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Y'all
Holla
been
at us.
following us from the very beginning, a lot of people. So we appreciate you, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
for doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's big.
And listen, if we shoot you the invite, it's cool if you just reject it. You ain't got to respond to it. We
Well,
just
we ain't
trying to
gonna
get the show in your face.
we ain't gonna even talk about that because we know when
I
we shoot an
mean,
invite, they're gonna show love. They're gonna
I
show
mean, they
love.
better.
They're gonna come through.
If I shoot you an invite, you better pull up.
This dude trying to trying to Devo y'all, but we just gonna let y'all know that y'all already know the content is fire. So we're
Yeah,
gonna do some great things in the next season. You know what I'm saying? But of course, as we've been advertising the past couple of weeks, this month is our music month, and we had a
yeah.
music trilogy. We started with the 70s, and then we went to when we
70s
started with
and
the
the
70s and
80s. Yeah,
80s. Then last week we did the 90s. This week is 2000 and beyond, right?
right.
So it's a big time frame, you know what I'm saying, to cover because you're talking about 23 years,
Yeah,
right?
and it's a lot of music.
It's a lot of
And
music.
coming out of the 90s era into the 2000, it was just a lot of music that hit us because it was still floating from the 90s, just coming. And so it was a lot of good music. I am actually surprised because wasn't really thinking about dates, but when you start going back and you look, oh snap, like that album was in 2002, 2004, whatever, you get what I'm saying? Like you start coming up with some albums that you was like, all right, so yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Okay, so like I was just talking about a minute ago, IG, check IG now. It should be working. So if it's working on IG now, then that just gives you a little preview of what we can do. You know what I'm saying
Yeah,
with
there
the
we
feed, with
go.
the stream, and then next season we'll have all the episodes
There
on
we go.
IG as well.
Yeah,
So
it's up and it's running, fam. It's
so
up and it's
it,
running, fam. So
so
we good.
hey, we trying to make it work, and as you all know, every episode we do is live.
Fact.
Now, there's a caveat to that coming. next season, we got some interviews coming, and we might have to do some pre-recorded stuff. We'll let you all know ahead of time. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So y'all will know what's live and what's not. But stay locked in, and you'll know, and you won't miss an episode, and you won't miss any other news because we got some great stuff coming.
We got some popping guests coming for and
Facts.
FYI, if you're an entrepreneur, got a social media following, you got a good business you're putting together, whether it be a therapist, doctor, you get what I'm saying? Like all of that, hit the inbox, holla at us. If you know somebody that is going to give us a dope interview, wants to come on, talk about their content, let us interview them. Hey, shoot us a message, hit us up in the inbox and be like, yo, I think she would be dope for your show, or he would be dope for your show. Hit us up, man. We kind of bridge that gap of just bringing all of y'all together instead of just talking about one thing, whether it be relationships or whatever. We bringing it all together. So hit us up.
Yup. All right. So, as we said before, we're talking about the 2000s, right? So, since there's so
Yeah.
much music, I kind of divided it up, right? And what we're
Right.
gonna be talking about in our list. Now, I didn't divide it up for you all because I knew it was gonna be difficult. So I made it difficult for us, but not for you
Right.
all, right? Like we asked you all for top 10 lists. Top 10 lists over 23 years for a lot of you all may have been easy because y'all listen to the same stuff over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't like new music, and some people have expressed that, but for some, like your boy Big Ken, I listened to a lot of different music. So it was difficult, but I had to whittle my list down to quality, right?
Right.
What I
Right.
would actually listen to today. And it's not to say that a lot of music today isn't good music, but I
Mhm.
look at music and one category as I always look at is replayability.
Right.
Like, how many times did I replay this? How many times do I feel like I want to replay it?
Right.
Some music is not bad, but when I listened to it the first time, I'm like, that was cool.
Can't feel it. Right. Toss
Like
it over to the side.
I won't
Right.
I won't say can't feel it, but it's like I listened to it, but it didn't really give me goosebumps. It didn't
Right.
really,
Right.
what I'm saying, make me want to say, oh man, I gotta listen to that again. It just didn't do that for me. Some songs and some albums and some songs I do like when I first hear, but it just doesn't grab. So I try to listen to it again.
Right.
And
If it don't
sometimes it
grab
just
you the
don't work.
second time, you just be like, whatever.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
did that for several albums, and I'm just like, ain't really feeling it. But you go back like a month or two later, and you know what I'm saying, you just driving, you know what I'm saying, and then that song might pop up, and you be like, oh, okay, I like that, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it happens, especially with new music in this new and age time. So
Yep. Shout out to Trisha Michelle. Y'all notice she's absent from the broadcast today, but she's
go
with us
ahead.
in the comments. She is feeling a bit under the weather. We're sad because this is our last show of the season, so we wanted to have her here, but she is feeling a little bit
Uh,
under the weather. So she joined us in the comments. So we will
she
be putting her
sound.
comments on the screen.
Hey, what you sound like, Rick Ross right now, forehead? What's
She don't
happening?
sound like nothing because she got. We told her that she should learn ASL brief
ASL, yeah.
quickly,
So
so
she
she
could.
could get on
So
here and at
she could.
least communicate. This dude is doing it like he gonna get canceled.
Hey, hey. The
He gonna
wire.
get canceled. Yeah, man, you got to be careful with that. You don't know what you throwing up. What kind of hand signs?
Just
It
throw it
could
up
be hand
anytime.
signs or gang signs. You don't even know.
Hey,
You chill
man.
out with
Hey.
that because I am not affiliated with any of that. So whatever he just threw up, Big Ken don't have nothing to do with it.
You can't like,
Nothing
yeah, I'm
at
good.
all.
I know. Hey, listen, what's his name? The wide receiver for the Seahawks. He learned ASL because I believe his
Oh,
son is
Metcalf, DK
yeah,
Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. He learned ASL. So when he hits and does a touchdown, he throws up, you know what I'm saying, love to his boy. So
Yeah,
respect to the ASL folks out there. But yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So okay, so Trisha Michelle was saying she asked herself, do I ever go back and listen to this again? That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, because some music is not bad. It's like, okay, what I'm really talking about now is for the most part the music that's the hype music, like that
Right.
everybody's talking about. Everybody's talking about this new album. Now, I might I might upset some people. because I know Nicki Minaj has a following, right? I'm
Mm,
not saying Nicki Minaj's new album, Pink Friday Part Two, is not a good album, but I
I
listened
ain't
to it.
even listened to it.
I listened to it, and I just I
Hey, hey, that may be Nicki Minaj, right? But I didn't really feel the Busta Rhymes new album.
I
You know what I'm
did.
saying? So I
I
mean,
did. I'm a
right,
Busta fan, so
right,
I found the redeeming qualities in it. You know what I'm
right.
saying? I saw what he was doing with the bridging the gap, bringing
Young
the
Cat
younger
Man,
artists
right.
in and doing collabs with them. So, and then I watched the interviews with him talking about the album, so it made sense. The project and
That
the
he was trying to put
sequencing and
together.
the whole nine. So, but with Nicki Minaj, I did the same thing. Watched the interviews and watched her talk about the album. And there's some songs on there that will probably be great singles. But I'm like,
But the
eh,
question is, you being a DJ though, was there songs in it that you think you could mash up or mesh with a different song
of
when
course,
listening to her album?
of course, there's always going to be something that you can put on there because she's Nicki Minaj.
Right, right,
So it's going to be something that you can play, and people are going to know that's her
right,
voice,
right.
and going to be drawn to it just because of that. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, it's plenty of stuff that Drake puts out, and I'm like, that's just
Yeah,
mid. It's
right,
very mid, but
right.
because it's Drake, people like, okay, I'm gonna
Hyped
give it a
over it.
shot. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm like, it's okay. It's just
Right.
okay,
Right.
right?
I mean, as we talk about the new music as it's flowed, I mean, I'm not the biggest Drake fan. So, I mean, I know he got some songs that are like super dope, but I mean, I ain't the
We'll
hugest
get
Drake
into
fan.
that.
So,
We'll
you know
get
what I'm
into
saying?
that
We got
because
a lot to discuss tonight about
as
our
much as
musical
you're not a
tastes, right?
Drake fan, from 2000 to 2023, that guy has been a bulk of that. So we're gonna talk
I
about it.
I would agree.
We're
I would
gonna talk
agree.
about it. We're gonna
There's a
talk
lot
about
of
it.
stuff that he gets on mainstream. He's done songs with Rick Ross. I mean, you just name it. He's
He's done
expansive,
some
right?
with everybody.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
You might as well
So it's
say
always
everybody.
something you can pull up on and be like, okay, yeah, that was banging. But I mean, I ain't running to his music like that. So but I mean, that's just me. So
All right, so Denisha's popped in again this week. Shout out to her. She's been
shout out
rocking
to
with
her.
us, you know what I'm saying? And she said the 2000s was popping in the music world, alternative along with dance, electric, plus pop and R&B was in a transformation. Yeah, you know what? And
Especially
Denisha always
R&B and
comes through.
transformation.
But Denisha always comes through with these introspective, thoughts,
Right.
and we appreciate her for that because she always throws something out there that we weren't really thinking about. Like the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about different music, and she throws out these artists, and we're like, you know what? I do remember that artist, and
Right.
because I listen to a lot of different types of music, but I listen to rap and R&B primarily.
Right.
I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. Now, some of the other stuff I listen to, if it just catches my ear, if I just happen to hear it, but it's not like I'm gonna wake up today and say, you know what, I'm gonna
Let me go
jam that.
listen to some Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I'm finna jam that Bon Jovi today. That's it's just not gonna happen, and that's okay because you know what, it's a lot of music out there, so it's music for everybody, right?
Right. Right.
So, but I enjoy hearing the insights that other people give us about the music they listen to because quite honestly, y'all are educating us on some of the stuff and you
Facts.
make us go look and look up these artists or go
I
back to
mean,
some artists that y'all talked about.
I'm just saying though, Ken, you might have to go on and listen to System of a Down. I'm just saying.
Oh, I've listened to System of a Down before, but it's just not my type of hype. Like it's
Right.
that type of thing. You really got to kind of be in the mood for it, right?
Right.
Or in the area where something like that is going on because a lot of that stuff is hard rock.
Right.
And it's just like they say head banging music, and I ain't gonna just be
Got the
jamming that
mosh
sitting at
pit.
the nah, I'm
Come
just not
on,
gonna be
Ken.
jamming.
Get my boy 6'5" at the mosh pit bouncing around.
Nah. The results will not go well. Me bouncing around with a bunch of people, nah,
Like a
nah.
clip bro clearing out the whole section. You know what I'm
Facts,
saying?
facts. It's gonna go down in there. All right, so I just want to shout this out too. Okay, so we broke it down 2000 to 2012, and then from
Right.
2013 to 2023. That's how we kind of did our list. So when we do these lists, that's how I'm gonna, talk about them and break them down. But y'all know we're gonna have questions in between, before, and all that stuff. That's kind of how we kind of tailor the conversation. And I wanted to throw this one random thing out, right? That's an amazing thing for people who are fans of any genre of music. For me, I picked R&B, right?
Right.
If you're an Apple Music subscriber, they have these music lists, these playlists, like they have R&B now. If you're an R&B lover, you need to make sure that you're checking that R&B now list, right? Because it's putting out the newest artists. There are so many artists, a lot of
Right.
artists you probably never even heard of, that have super dope music, right?
And you
That'll
never know about them unless you know what I'm saying, it flashed across
Yes,
your Apple Music.
yes.
So
I have found so many artists and heard so many songs before they became hits on that list.
mm,
So it gives you some insight to what's already out there that's popular, but what's coming as well. So check out those lists. They have different categories, like I said, rap, R&B, they have pop. So, whatever you're a fan of, go to those, check those playlists out. And, if you're looking for new music, a lot of times you're gonna find something that's gonna appeal to you. So I'm not sure if the other music streaming services have something similar. I'm pretty sure they do, but I know Apple Music is curated in a certain way where it's usually spot on with the list that they have. And what I'm saying, the hits
right.
come off of that list. So maybe it's a conspiracy theory. I don't know, because Apple might be running the game, but check
Hey,
check it
Apple
out.
is running the game.
I mean, check it out. You can't lose, man, because I've been listening to the R&B now playlist for 2 days, and it it ain't missed yet. So what I'm saying.
Hey,
I'm
that's
just
dope.
saying, play it. You know what I'm saying. Check it out. But all right, so we got we got questions. The first question we're gonna ask, and because Trish Michelle's in our audience today, we want to make sure that she has time to respond to these questions as
Right.
well. So we'll display those, but Benji's gonna be the guinea pig on some of this stuff. Well, I'm gonna go first sometime too,
I
but
mean,
right
it's
now,
hard. We're gonna make it
but
happen.
right now it's Benji. So okay, Benji,
Yeah.
would you consider Beyonce and Chris Brown the Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson of the artists of the 2000s?
Chris Brown, I would, in terms of him, dance, music, sing, the whole nine, everything.
Mhm.
I would give him that part. But as far as Beyonce, nah, I wouldn't get, because she's not the vocalist that I think Whitney Houston was. And Whitney Houston wasn't a huge get up there, dance, you know what I'm saying, type of chick. She was more, she wowed you with her vocals. So if I'm gonna give somebody like that space, it might be tough. I thought about Fantasia, but she ain't popping like that. But she could sing her behind off, and she's got that church background. So in terms of, if we're looking at overall, like, you may have no choice but to give it to Beyonce. But for me, vocal wise, no, she just doesn't do it for me. But Chris Brown, though, yes, that kid has been popping since forever, since he was a kid, and he's still doing dope music, still dancing. Went through his little episodes, bounced back from that, and is still relevant. If you ask me, his music is better now than it was back then. So he's progressively getting better, and but Chris Brown for me would be a definite yes, but Beyonce, nah.
Okay, so from my understanding, Trish Michelle agrees that she would consider Beyonce comparable to Whitney Houston, and I'll say I thought of that simply because of influence, right? Like
Right,
when you look at how big Whitney was, not just vocally, but just as an artist in general,
right, right,
right? And her effect on young women and the whole nine, and people wanting to see her shows and her following. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And her selling out concerts and things like that. To me, there's not another female artist right now that has that other than Beyonce. If we're wrong,
Mm.
people let us know, because if you know a
A-
if a female artist
Adele
that
is popping. Bro, Adele can sing her behind off. Like,
I mean, I don't know.
and she actually won one year the awards when they were talking about they should have gave it to Beyonce.
Mhm.
Adele ain't no joke, bro. It's some. I mean,
But
if we
Adele,
cross over
okay,
a little
but hold
bit,
on, but hold on. I think you're getting carried away with that, because I think Adele had a moment, but Whitney Houston was like a block of time. Whitney
right,
Houston had like a decade where she had just locked in. I don't see Adele having that. I see Adele having a 2 or 3 year span where she was like at the top, and then she just kind of faded back.
right,
But Whitney was for like a
a
solid
long
decade, like
time.
she was,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, like she was the standard, like she
Now
was, what I'm
that is
saying, as
true.
far as artistry.
Now that
So
is true in
yeah,
terms
yeah,
of
yeah.
if you consider the whole ball, then
Yeah,
you have to
that's what I'm
go
saying. That's
with
what I'm looking at the whole
Beyonce
thing, because
overall. Yeah.
when you talk about Whitney, it's hard to compare her vocals to anybody's, because we're talking
Right.
about, she was called, I guess, the voice of I forgot what they call it. Look, somebody Google it for me. The voice of the century, or the voice of something. But they was like, nobody had those vocals like she had.
Right.
Nobody could, what I'm saying, had the range she had the depth in her voice, like all the different things that she could do. Nobody really had that. So,
Right.
Adele, amazing vocal talent, but
Right.
her effect as far as longevity is the question that I have when
When it
comparing.
comes to her. True.
So yeah, so Beyonce having not the best vocals, but
And longevity.
when you look at her longevity, and just not her run with Destiny Child, but her just as a solo artist, and she drops every 3 years. If you look at her record, she drops every 3 years, and when she drops,
It's
she
huge.
drops,
Yeah, it's
right?
huge. Can't lie.
So okay, so somebody in the audience, on my square said, "Don't sleep on Alicia Keys." Listen,
Earlier, yeah. Right. And I give and her recent song, I like that song too, Come
listen,
For Me. So
Alicia Keys is a great artist. And one thing I like about Alicia is she's not just a voice, she's a musician,
mhm.
right? She's classically trained in multiple instruments. She can play a lot of different instruments. She can sing. Like, she is what I call a quintessential artist, right? Where she doesn't
She's the
need
female version of Prince, huh?
facts. I said that before, and people gave me flack for that. And I'm
No,
like, it's
that's how I view her. She's a
it's
female
not
version
many
of
other
Prince.
females that I have seen that can play all those different instruments,
Right.
compose their own music, and sing like that, other than, like you said, on the male side, Prince.
Right.
So, I mean, I think it's a fair comparison. A lot of people, especially big time Prince fans, they don't want to compare nobody to
Body
Prince.
the Prince, right.
But we had that conversation when we were talking about the 70s and 80s and the 90s of Prince. When people talk about Prince and Mike, to me, it's not even a conversation,
Right.
right?
You
But
know they top, you know they at the top of the food chain. So you ain't even
yeah.
playing.
So, but they're two different types of guys,
Right.
right? When you talk about Prince and Mike. So, but we had that discussion. But
Right. Right.
I think with Chris Brown is, I think what he does, he's been so consistent, and he's been he's been putting out music for so long, that I think he's one of those guys who's, I'll say this, he's comparable to LeBron James in sports, where he's been so good for so long that people have become
Numb to him to a
numb
degree,
to it,
huh?
numb
Right.
to the greatness, because it's like, oh, he did that. Yeah, he always do that.
He's
You know what I'm
supposed to do
saying?
that. Like
He's
I
supposed to
expected,
do that. Like,
right. I expect him to drop. He got the vocals. I expect the dance to be tight. I expect the beat to be tight. I expect the production to be tight. If he dropped something that was whack, he'd probably get more. He'd probably get so much press for dropping something whack that that's just how good he is. You get what I'm saying? So when you hear an album or hear a song and this dude is on the track, you just expect some fire. It just appeared.
Yeah, and people have been. I've been seeing these videos of mashups with Chris Brown and Mike dancing,
Hmm.
and people have been talking about which one is better. I don't know, man. Mike, young Mike, especially,
Young
but
Mike was a problem, dog. I'm
young
sorry.
Mike was a problem.
The
Everybody's seen
innovation
that
was
video,
ridiculous.
but everybody's seen that video or that clip of Michael Jackson dancing with Cher and the Jackson 5 on the stage when they were doing the robot. Bruh, Mike killed it. Like,
For
I've seen
sure.
Chris kill it, but like Mike killed it. And that was one of the many moments where I'm like, okay, this is what y'all need to see when y'all comparing the two. So somebody actually
Right.
put that clip on there, because I'm like, Chris Brown's an amazing dancer.
Right.
Amazing. So when people talk about Chris Brown and Usher, it's not even
Not even
Usher
close. No.
fans. Usher
No. No.
fans.
Yeah.
I love Usher, but Usher is not messing with Chris Brown when it comes to dancing at all.
No,
Stop
no,
it.
dancing. No,
Stop
if
it.
you're trying to compare, if you're just being biased, gonna be biased. But you cannot sit here and say now, young Usher could dance really well. But
Yeah,
listen,
he
man,
could dance, but
listen,
bro, Chris
yeah,
Brown
Chris
is
Brown is just
the dancer. He is the
right,
guy,
yeah,
right? So, but hey, but that was a good question. I think we kind of got some good answers, and I think we got I think we understand it, right?
right.
I think at the end of the day, Whitney Houston's shoes are very hard to fill vocally, but I think outside of okay, so we have one more. We have, what about Mariah Carey?
Hey,
That's
hey, listen, you can say, listen, Mariah she don't get mentioned a lot. We don't mention Janet Jackson. Like you got to be real with this. Like Janet Jackson, Mariah Carey, them ladies been doing this for a long time. And vocal wise, ain't too many touching Mariah Carey. I'm sorry. Just she didn't even come into my mind, and I forgot. As soon as you mentioned that, you start hearing Janet Jackson, and then you start mentioning other ones like
but hold on.
Mariah
But
Carey's
hold
tough.
on. Okay, but say for instance, Mariah Carey came to your town and she's doing a show. You going?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You going?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
Okay.
I was actually about to go to the Hollywood Bowl and watch her do the Christmas thing. She's at the Hollywood Bowl out here in Cali. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, if listen,
Wait, hold on. Trisha Michelle is in the comments, y'all. So again, she's out. She's a little bit under weather, and she says
she
no.
she ain't,
Trisha
she ain't
Michelle.
under the weather.
So, hold on, Trisha Michelle. So are you saying nope, that you wouldn't go to show? You wouldn't go to see Mariah Carey? Would y'all go see Mariah Carey? Y'all paying Beyonce prices to go see Mariah Carey?
Beyonce prices.
Yeah, Beyonce ticket prices. Because I'm telling you, if Mariah Carey's performing, she probably gonna be charging a little bit. I know she ain't
Oh
charging, you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It ain't cheap.
She not here charging beer money.
Beyonce tickets though, fam. Her tickets be, but yeah, yeah. They cost a grip.
Okay. Yeah. See, Trish Michelle said, nah, she wouldn't go. For me, it's a no. I like Mariah Carey music, but I don't want to go see Mariah Carey do no show, bro.
I mean, if you're just going for pure singing,
I don't
because
care what she
remember,
doing.
if you're going, if you're going for pure singing,
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see. I listen to it, but
like
I'm not.
but you're going to a Whitney concert if Whitney was here, though.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
I am. It
Okay.
just for me, it
Okay.
just Mariah just doesn't do it for me to go see her in concert.
Okay.
Right. Not everybody to me is somebody that I want to see in concert. I might
Okay.
enjoy their music at the crib, listen to it in the
But now I
car,
ain't finna go see that at the.
but I don't want to go see a show.
I mean,
It
I
just
don't
don't.
know, fam. I don't know, bro. Like I mean, back in the day, I know she's a little bit older now, but back in the day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
You know
mean,
what I'm
she looks
saying?
good, bro. But I mean, what's she gonna do? Prance around on the stage? Like, just nah.
I
I'm just
mean, the
not.
difference is because see, Beyonce to me reminds me of dance wise like a Tina Turner. So she get that like she gives a full show.
No,
And
you're gonna get a show, and you should for $300 or $400.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like you should. Hey, you pay $100 for a ticket. You better sweat on me or something. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to feel like I did something for that
Not
honey
sweat on
bun.
you though. Your bro want to be up super close, getting the
She better
sweat
sweat
in.
on me, somebody from somebody in that crowd better be moving enough to sweat on me or something, because I need something back for my $100.
Hey, Beyonce gonna give you a lot to look at. Okay, from what I've heard from
Yeah.
her shows, yeah, yes, she's gonna give you a lot to look at. Trust me.
Trisha Michelle said that's all she do is dance, is prance around like reindeer. She about to sing. Oh, she's talking about Mariah Carey.
Talk
So,
about Mariah Carey. Yeah, I know
yeah,
she
she
didn't talk
said,
about Beyonce. No,
yeah, no, she said Beyonce,
Sasha
you
Fierce, be
you
fierce
feel
up
like it
there.
was the most lit party, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, before she sold y'all the movie of the concert that y'all went to to view her, and I saw the videos of people when they were at the concert, and everybody like they had a good time with their silver boots on.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Like shout out to Beyonce. She puts on an amazing show.
I mean, Coachella was fire. I can't lie. Coachella, that was like, yo, this is crazy. Like to see that live or to see that on TV, that was bananas. I'm sorry. So yeah, she get major props for me from that. But I ain't a big Beyonce fan. I don't listen to her music. I did love the song "You Can't Break My Soul." Like that made me listen to
It
her
made you
music a little
dance.
bit
You was
more.
like, where my you was dancing
I
around. You
mean,
was
I
like,
mean, listen, bro. I told you every now and then there's a song, you know what I'm saying, with a woman be singing, you know what I'm saying? You got to sing it with your chest, you know what I'm
oh
saying? I'm
wow,
sorry.
that's
I'm
a
saying.
doozy of a song to be singing with your chest right there, boy.
I mean, listen, man. When you don't want to listen, you got to direct your energy because you want to throw blows with somebody. You got to redirect your energy. I'm just saying.
Oh man.
Oh, she
All
said
right.
Mariah's not a concert I would pay for. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh man. Oh man. We
Depressed at the concert for real? Listen, no.
oh man.
I need my singers to come in here and tell me, would you be depressed at a Mariah Carey concert? I don't think so. I'm just saying because she
All
got
right.
vocals.
So on my square said Beyonce's concerts are cool, but nothing can touch Janet's Velvet Rope tour.
Facts. And I sent Purvis Taylor an invite. If you're talking about Janet Jackson and Purvis Taylor, hear you, I promise you he gonna talk about Janet Jackson.
The funniest thing about Janet Jackson is that clip where she pulls that guy on stage and she starts dancing on him and stuff, bruh. I think every guy in the world wanted to be that dude at that point, and he was up there not representing
Man, listen. Now
at all.
that brother couldn't represent. You ain't finna touch Janet like that. You see what she had Tupac do? Go get you a test, brother, before you touch me.
Hey man,
I'm just saying.
you miss every shot you don't shoot.
You wasn't even getting a
You,
shot for that one.
you got to shoot that shot while you there. You know what I'm saying? Like when she keep grinding on you, you gotta hump back. You gotta
He
hump back a
shot
little
all
bit.
right.
You just
He
lay
shot
there.
all right.
You gotta hump back. You know what I'm saying?
He
He
shot
wasn't
all
humping
right. I
back.
can
He
guarantee you
wasn't
that.
humping back, dog. He wasn't
Yeah,
humping
listen,
back.
man.
You gotta hump back.
Listen, just the thought. Because I used to have a homegirl who every year she'd go to a Janet Jackson concert if it came to Cali, and she would always talk about it, right? Bruh, it's bananas in there. And
I bet.
if you at the concert, you literally like, you know what I'm saying? You own it because you already know what's coming, and you watching it. You like, yo. So I mean, yeah, they shot. I can guarantee you that.
My square said I took my wife to see Janet 9 months later myself.
give us the facts. He's like,
Oh man.
facts.
And Trisha Michelle, she agreed with me. He ain't even rock his hips or nothing. Like he was just laying there. I'm like, bro, this is Janet Jackson. Like you gotta grind back. You gotta
I
throw it
mean,
back.
I mean, listen, man. That brother didn't want to get kicked out of that moment.
Well, I'm gonna get kicked out because
stuck.
I'm rubbing it.
No. Wasn't his hands tied or something? Wasn't his hands tied up?
Yeah,
He
but
was
the
tied
front
up.
of my pants wouldn't be tied. You know what I'm saying? She bouncing on me. I'm humping back.
Listen, man, they probably told you in the back. Listen, brother, if you get
No, they
pulled
pull
up
this
here,
man out the audience, bro. They pull this man out the audience and put him on stage in that strapped in thing. Like, yeah, he was acting like he was about to faint and all this other stuff. I'm like,
I
bro,
mean, he probably
like,
was, bro. He
yeah,
probably
you
was about
wilding.
to faint.
Y'all
You know
picked
what
the
I'm saying?
wrong one. That was a
Listen, man.
plant. That probably was a plant.
everybody ain't used to being, you know what I'm saying, in the space with something fine and tender. You get what
Bruh.
I'm saying? So they
That
freeze up.
nah, man.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
You
Everybody ain't
got
used to being there.
ain't nobody that man. Listen, you got one shot at it. You got one shot. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
he got his moment, bro.
Listen,
We need to find him for an interview. We need to go
listen. If you
find his
gonna
name.
do it and your girl in the crowd and she let you go up there and do it, you better enjoy it because you're gonna hear about it when you get home. So you might as
Now that is
well
facts.
go hard while you're there. While you there.
That
You
is
know what I'm
facts.
saying?
That is
So
facts. That
all
is facts.
right. So yeah, Trisha Michelle said you need to go Google that clip so you can see exactly what we're talking about, Benji. So you need to go Google that clip.
I mean, listen, I like to live in reality. I wasn't in the moment, so it's passe for me.
Nah, you gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. All right. So all right, the next question I wanted to ask is now this is a big one when we're talking about entering, transitioning from the early 2000s to now. When we talk about rap,
Right,
rap we hold near and dear to us, you know what I'm saying, because our generation was the first generation to really get involved in rap and rap grew with us. So now we have a new generation of rap, right? So the question is, why do you think older rap fans have such an issue with the newer rap music? So
I
for
go ahead, go ahead,
so for me, I'll answer this first because I
go
want
ahead.
people to understand. Like I keep having this conversation with people, and the first thing that people have to understand about any rap music that you trying to understand is you have to understand the slang that they're using.
Right,
So, growing up, huge Wu Tang fan. Wu Tang is my favorite. There will be people that will just straight up tell me, I don't understand nothing Wu Tang is talking about.
right.
And if you're living in Texas back in the 90s and
You
you
wouldn't, you never
haven't been
seen
to
it.
New York, you haven't heard people from New York talk, you didn't know the slang words they were using, you're not going to understand it,
Right.
right? Because you don't understand the words and the verbiage and the slang that they're
The
using.
wordplay, yeah, and
So,
the references to kung fu and Shaolin and all of that. Yeah, you wouldn't understand it.
you're not gonna understand a lot of that. Just like I had a conversation with somebody like I really like Lil Baby. And they were
Right.
like, dang, Ken, that's surprising because you like all these rappers, these lyrics and all this stuff. You like lyricism, but you like Lil Baby. I said, well, hold up. Lil
If you
Baby
listen to
got
Lil Baby,
lyrics.
he can bar. He got bars.
Lil Baby got lyrics, but you have to know the slang that he is using. And you
I
have
agree.
to be listening to, what I'm saying, the words. So a
Right.
lot of people nowadays they get caught up in the beat. The production has
Right.
taken a forefront, right? And a lot of people get caught up in that and they hear the beat and the music just becomes, as they said on the caption, indistinct chatter.
Right.
Like they can't understand it, right? And it's a reason for that. So that's why the producers have taken to the forefront and at the beginning of every song, so and so on the track, you know what I'm saying, at the beginning of the song to
Maybach
let you know.
music.
So who's the producer.
Who's the producer
Now
on
the
the, yeah,
producer is basically the more important piece. And some of these producers can put anybody on their track and
and make it sound good.
and make it sound good because the producer, as perfected their formula of how to put a
Facts.
beat together and certain 808s they use that they know that people are going to be attracted to and people want to hear in the club. What sounds good in the strip club? What sounds good on speakers? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And the MC has become the second tier of
Right.
that. So I think that's the first thing, and we're used to the opposite because growing
Right.
up, we're used to hearing the lyrics, understanding the lyrics being storytelling. I want you to take me through, you know, make me visualize what you're going through. Like when you listen to a Nas record, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like you're visualizing, okay, he's talking about going through the streets of Queens, he's talking about cruising, he's in this type of car. Like you're visualizing what he's talking about.
Right.
Some of these new rappers, you don't want to
They saying the
visualize what
same
they
thing
talking
over and over and over
about, but you
again.
don't want to visualize what they talking about.
Exactly. I don't
It's like
Molly, Percocet,
you be like, oh, you
putting a
shot
thumb
him,
in her butt. Yeah, no, yeah,
you
I'm cool.
shot little John 50 times, you pull out the AK, you strapped him up, you know what I'm saying? You pull out the stick, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Oh
all
wow.
right.
Oh yeah,
So
I'm
it's
cool on
only
that.
so much of that you can take, but and let's also address this. Trisha Michelle. me talked after the show last weekend. We were talking about how sad we were about Sexy Red, y'all. I don't have no problem with y'all listening to Sexy Red, but first she had the album Her Coochie Pink, the Booty Hole Brown, and that was quite jarring. That the fact that they made that from a TikTok thing to an actual studio song, and it made it to the radio.
Right.
So now they got Rich Baby Daddy with Drake,
Hmm.
and the song goes, "Bend over, let that coochie breathe, hands on your knees." I'm just like, like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I mean, listen, above anything else that if you just push a specific thought content out there, it's what triggers people. And they're gonna, and it's the same stuff regurgitate. It's no different than what Luke was saying way back in the day. You
True.
get what I'm saying? So they just regurgitate the same concept and push the same concept out there. Let them be wild, let them be free, push it out there. You get what I'm saying? And again, I ain't listening to no Sexy Red. I think the most I've heard is the hook Ski Yee. I like when you say ski, where our mind go. You get what I'm
Well,
saying? So
I ain't gonna
I
lie
mean,
to you.
I don't even know what the song is about.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Now that song is actually a legit song. It's
I've
catchy.
never listened to it. I've
It's
only heard the
but
hook.
it's as far as song structure, beat,
Right,
all that stuff, it's catchy. It's what the formula for what a
right.
lot of these, rappers and artists and producers use. I don't have a problem with the Ski Eat song as much as I have a problem with the Rich Baby Daddy and the first song. I forgot the name of it, but when
I
she
mean,
came out, that's the only thing that you heard was Coochie Pink Booty Hole Brown. I'm like, why is that even a lyric in the song?
the presentation throws me off. So like I just can't dig it. But she was on the Breakfast Club recently. You know what I'm saying? She was stating a case. You get what I'm saying? Talking about her and just hilarious and dealing with it. But I mean, music wise, it's like the presentation alone. It's like, baby girl, you pregnant and you like it. Just don't. I'm mad at everybody that made that made her famous enough to go out there and feel free enough to go out there like that. I'm mad at y'all, whoever that is. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's music. Somebody loves it. Even one of our famous counselors who we've had on the show actually loves
Yeah, I
the
saw
song.
that. I saw she
So I
loves Rich
mean,
Baby Daddy. She loves it. She
yeah.
loves the song.
So this is the beauty of music. You get what I'm
But
saying? You get
see,
to touch nerves that maybe other stuff can't touch.
again, I don't think she fell in love with the lyrics. She fell in love with the beat,
Right.
with the melody of it, and then Drake's on it, so that puts a stamp on it for other people. Because I'm telling you right now, it's a lot of songs that have a lot of guest appearances or features that
Right.
if you take that feature off, the rest of the album, the rest of that song is trash.
Trash. Right. Right.
I'm not
And I would
talking
agree.
about that song in particular, but I'm just saying, like, there's
In
a lot of
general,
songs
right.
out there that artists have been featured on, and it's a new artist that they're featured on it with, and they came on and blessed the track, and they part was fire,
Right.
and then but the rest of the track with the new artist was terrible.
Like done. It's like I'm done. I can't do it. I
So,
can't do it.
but I think at the end of the day, that's the difference between why the older rap fans have such an issue with new rap is because of the format and what's taking precedence. You know what I'm saying? We were listening for lyrics.
Right.
They're listening for beat first, lyrics second. So I'm wondering if for some of them the lyrics even take
It
hold,
matter. Well,
right?
it's mostly the club beat, right? So you ain't in a club listening for lyrics.
Mm-mm.
You get what I'm saying? So if you at a strip club or you at a club or you at whatever, you ain't in there necessarily looking for, you know what I'm saying, a lyricist. You ain't sitting up in the club with your drink, you know what I'm saying, like whatever. But you looking for the production because that's where everybody's at. So and if it's catchy and if it flows and you're in there shaking your rump, you know what I'm saying, and you swinging, you know what I'm saying, it's in the moment, so it matters in that moment because you at the club. You
Yeah.
you at the strip club, you at the party. So it just fits the narrative, right? And they just found the lane to be able to walk into. And personally, Two Live Crew and Luke Nim, they made that, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to say they're originators, but they probably are. But they made that lane very, very, very possible. So,
Yeah.
they found their spot.
And I think that's the reply that a lot of people, on the other side of that would say, we had artists like Luke, Two
Right,
Live Crew. There was a bunch of artists back in the day that had, lyrics, as they say, suggestive lyrics
right,
like that.
right,
Lil Kim, even a lot of her
right,
music.
right.
But we knew that Lil Kim could actually rap.
Rap, right.
Right? So we knew there was commercial stuff, but we knew if we gave Lil Kim a mic and said, "Freestyle for me right now,"
She could
she
bust a
could
lyric.
rap, and it
Right,
wasn't gonna be about her doing this and doing that. Like, she could really rap.
right.
So it's a difference in knowing that, okay, you're doing this because you need to make sales, but you actually have a talent and,
You could
you
go out
know
there and spit, right.
so that's what I wanna
Similar
know.
to what you were saying about Megan the Stallion, right? Like she
Yes,
can actually flow. Like
she can
she's
actually
got that
rap.
style where she can, it's trap, it's going, but if you put her behind a pop beat or she can actually spit some bars.
Yeah, because she got a song called WAP with Cardi B, and you're
Right,
like, wow, that song has no substance at all, but it's talking about something that everybody loves.
right, right.
But do you really want to hear that type of song being played in a public setting? Not too much. It's really
Nah,
uncomfortable
right.
to listen to that type
If
of
if
music.
I'm walking down the mall, you know what I'm saying, with my baby girls and all of that, and WAP come on,
Yeah,
I ain't too
yeah.
excited to hear that song come on. You know what I'm saying? So
But it's that draw in between, because you don't want to be listening to it with your baby girls, but that's how your baby girls got here. So
that's
it's
facts.
it's you know
That's
you
why
know what I'm
Sexy
saying?
Red,
Like
maybe that's why she pregnant right now. You know what I'm saying?
well,
I don't
according
know.
to that video, and never mind. But anyway,
I ain't seen it, and I don't want to know, fam.
I'm just
I mean,
hey,
for
hey.
me, for me though, interjecting this thought, this idea into this though too, is music is more simpler made than it was back then too, because a
Oh
lot of it
yeah.
is synthesized production, computer, all of that. Whereas artists back early, they put way more effort into the music than I think what's produced now. So that could be a possible reason why old heads be kind of tripping on. And plus, they're making more money. You know what I'm saying? They're a little bit smarter than they were back in that day. So there's some issues there that, you know what I'm saying, the older generation could probably be salty about. So
Yeah, on my square said, Sexy Red is equivalent to Kaya or Kia, whichever way you want to pronounce it.
uh-huh.
She had one good song and never heard from again. And I think, well, she's actually got 3
She
songs
got, she
that we
got,
know
and from
now.
what I
She's got
heard,
3.
right,
She's got 3. But here's the thing. Well, the other piece of that is they're not making music that stands the test of time. Their
right.
music
It's
is
the
microwave.
in the now. That's
It's
it.
in the moment. It's gonna pass the next 2 or 3 months. You're gonna be listening to something else, and you're not even gonna touch that again. And that's like I was saying earlier, there are a lot of albums being put out now that don't have any replayability. Like, once you
Right,
hear it the first time, you don't want to listen to it again.
right.
For albums that I have like on my list, like Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City, like, you
Yes,
listen to that multiple times.
right,
You listen to that many times, probably for a lot of people, and that's a project that is like, okay, this is music for us,
right. Because
right?
it's got the whole thing in mind. It's got the lyrics in mind. It's got the cadence in mind. It's got the production in mind. Like it has everything involved in it, like an art piece. Like you're watching a dope painter paint a piece of art, and how he takes the time and uses a different brush, uses a different color, uses, you know what I'm saying, a different whatever. And that's what makes the music like so draws you into it. Nowadays, it ain't too much music that's doing that from I ain't gonna say too much, but a lot of music that's doing that for us. It's like you hear it one time, you're like, all right, yeah, I'm cool. I can't play that nowhere else, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of leave it alone.
And see, for me, the music now, like as far as rap, I gotta be in the mood to listen to it. The
Right.
R&B different. The R&B now it is different. Even though the language and some of the topics that they talk about in the R&B music now are a little bit more on the X-rated, a little bit past
Right.
R. But I get it because keep it 100. I'm an adult. Some of
Right.
the nasty stuff they talk about, I enjoy. So it's
It's
like
facts. It's
I'm
right.
I don't have a problem with it. So, but and some of the nasty stuff that they rap about, I also enjoy those things, but I don't want to consume that in a public setting. So
Right. Right.
it's just that for me. You know what I'm saying? Like for the R&B is different. You know what I'm saying? It sets a mood. If you are setting a mood with rap, I don't know. I
I
mean,
mean, listen, some girls you ain't trying to turn the R&B music on for.
hey, he said it, not me, y'all. So you know what I'm saying?
I mean, brothers, let's just be honest out there. You don't you if you throwing on some what do you call it? If you throwing on some Future and your ladies in the room, I don't know. I mean, not my cup of tea, but I mean it might be yours. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
hey, he said some of them deserve Future, some of them deserve,
Hey,
some smooth R&B. You know what I'm
some
saying? So
deserve Del Taco, some deserve Burger King,
so ladies,
some
if
deserve Maestros. I'm
if you
just saying.
roll up and the dude is playing Future, he bumping that Future when you come to the crib, you already know it's gonna be a short visit.
Yes, three minutes and out. Two minutes and 30 seconds and you go. I'm just saying.
Oh man. All right. So let's get to these lists, man.
Yeah, this gonna be interesting because
Okay,
I
so the
gotta hear yours. I gotta
Okay,
hear
so
yours.
I will go first this
All
with
right,
this list, and
all
Benji will
right,
go first with the next one. So
all
the
right.
first list that we're gonna do, we got top 5 artist albums from 2000 to 2012.
Yeah,
Now, as we told you all the past couple weeks, these are our list. These are
yes.
not your list. This is not your brother's list. This is not
Not
anybody
the
else's list.
auntie's list.
This is our list.
What we was like, yo, I couldn't get away from that album and that artist.
Yes.
I had to bump that album. If I got him to ride and the subwoofer was popping and the ride was clean, I'm putting that on. If I
Yeah.
picked up my
Facts.
lady, I'm putting that album on. I'm just saying.
So for me, okay, 2000, 2012 people. So I had some honorable mentions. I'm trying
Uh-huh.
not to do a bunch of them, but I could not miss these two because they meant that much to me, right? As far as sonically, especially,
Mhm.
I'm a DJ ear. I'm listening for sounds. I'm listening for everything all involved. My
Right.
honorable mention: 2 albums, Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick
Mm.
Lamar,
Mm-hmm.
and one sleeper for a lot of people. That's Channel Orange by Frank Ocean.
Oh,
If you
okay.
don't know about Channel Orange by Frank Ocean, go listen to it.
Channel
Period.
Orange,
Frank Ocean. Put
Frank
it on your
Ocean.
list. Check it
Gotcha.
out. It's a dope album, very dope album. And you will see that some of the sounds that he was producing on there that they came with on there that as the 2000s unfolded, a lot of other people replicated sounds from that album. And if people really know the history, Frank Ocean was part of Our Future, which involved Earl Sweatshirt and
Yeah.
Tyler the Creator as well. So
Right.
that was from that collective. So, all right. So that's my honorable mentions. Starting at number 5, I got Back to Black, Amy Winehouse. Listen,
Oh,
listen, listen,
oh,
listen,
he went there. Okay.
listen. Huge Amy Winehouse fan. I hated how she left this earth. Like that hurt me because I knew she was one of those voices that changed the trajectory of everything. When she
Right.
was singing on a song, her voice carried so much soul and so much feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know now, so much hurt. Like
Right.
you could hear it. You could hear it, and I felt her music, right?
Right. Right.
So initially I heard her song. She had a remix of one of her songs she did with Ghostface Killer from the Wu-Tang. So I
Mm-hmm.
heard it and I'm like, man, who is this chick? She got a soulful voice. And then I see this little
Skinny
skinny white
white
lady.
chick. Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, that's Amy Winehouse. But man,
She was
she had an
fine.
album that came out before Back to Black called Frank. So I went back, checked that out. Very dope album. So I became an Amy Winehouse fan. So number 5, Back to Black. Number 4, I got Get Rich or Die Trying, 50 Cent.
50 Cent. Huh.
Everybody was
Yeah.
jamming this album at some
Yeah.
point in the 2000s.
Sadly enough, I wasn't.
You listen to it, yeah. Well, you had a different reason for not, but but I'm just telling you, the 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying changed a lot,
A lot of music.
of
It
music,
took
right?
over.
It
It
took
took over.
over, and it was like, wow. All right, because we heard this guy, we heard the mixtapes when he came with the album, killed the game, and it had everybody in the chokehold for a minute, right?
Right.
All right, number 3 on the list, The Blueprint, Jay-Z.
I knew he had to be on there for you. I
It's
knew it.
self-explanatory. Like, if you know Jay-Z's catalog, you know The Blueprint is the blueprint for him. So it was one of those albums that, you know what I'm saying, would start the trend of the trajectory of who he would eventually become.
Right.
So The Blueprint at number 3. Number 2, can't have a top 5 list from the early 2000s without having this album on your list. If it's not on your list, I don't consider your list credible. Confessions by Usher.
Usher.
Listen,
Oh, okay.
one of the most perfect albums that was put out in the 2000s. It's pretty much bulletproof. You can put it in your car, put it in your stereo, press play, walk
Mm-hmm.
away.
Mm-hmm.
Let it play all the way through, and you're probably gonna sing every song on the joint.
No, really? No, not really.
Every single
Every
song.
song. Yeah.
Hey man, hey now I sing Superstar with my whole chest. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hit the high notes, everything.
Right, right.
Right? So, but all right. So drum roll, my number 1 album of the early 2000s, or 2000 to 2012, is The College Dropout, Kanye
Kanye
West.
West. Okay.
That album changed music, the way music was being done from that point forward.
All right.
After that album came out, Kanye went on this run of
Of like, it was insane. I think he's
like
got 4 albums in the top 100 in the
like
2000 in the
his
2000. Yeah.
albums, he was on everybody else's stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he was producing everybody else's stuff. He went on
Mhm.
this crazy run, but The College Dropout is what really cemented him as a young legend early,
Right.
right? Before he
I
even
agree.
became legendary. Like, that album was like, oh yeah, he done this his first album. Oh wow.
Mhm.
So he got to be, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't disappoint with the other albums that came after that. Like, they kept getting better. He kept
Right.
changing sounds.
Right.
He kept growing with the music. As we talked about last week, we want to see our artists grow.
Right.
And Kanye is one of the few that grew with his music. But I will point this out. He grew with his music, and it made people uncomfortable because so many people are comfortable with seeing an artist do the
Do
same
the
thing
same thing
repetitive,
over and over again. Yeah.
or stay in a certain pocket. Well, he grew, and he outgrew some of his fans, which is okay. You know what I'm
He
saying?
still
Because
got a ton of them, so
because
it don't
it's
matter.
about the art. It's about the art.
Right.
But at my number 1 is
Kanye
College
West.
Dropout, Kanye West.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. So
All right.
while you're doing your list, Benji, I'm gonna be reading through Trisha Michelle's list that she
Let
has.
go through Trisha Michelle's list. Go ahead.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
gotta put it together a little bit. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You go first, and then I'll have some of her stuff.
All right. So honorable mention, of course, Kanye West. Like, he got 4 albums, bro, in the top 100. He was my honorable mention. So I had to put him there. Missy Elliott's Under Construction album, I thought was worth an honorable mention. All
True.
right.
I
Of
like
course,
that.
that album, Work It, of course, the production and all that stuff on that album was like her. Like, so to name it Under Construction, I thought was perfect. So those are my 2 honorable mentions. Now, to my list, number 5, I got Talib Kweli's Train of Thought album.
Fire.
Now, listen, I didn't officially listen to this album until I want to say maybe 3, 4 years ago.
Mm.
So those of you who don't know me, I was a full-fledged church boy from 19 up until like 30s. You get what I'm saying? So I wouldn't listen to a bunch of hip hop. But this album, if I remember correctly, the first day when I heard it, I drove home. I texted Ken because I posted this song with him and J. Cole, Most Def, like they're all on this track. And bro was like, "You ain't never heard that album before?" I was like, "Nah." So album is fire. The Train of Thought album by Talib Kweli
Oh, you talking
is
about the
sick.
song with him and Common, not J. Cole, but Common.
Common, I think it is. Yeah, but
Yes.
the whole listen, he album is sick. I love it.
Fire.
He's got songs on there that I love that I was like, I play the whole album. And of course, when he did get into the MF Doom and all that stuff, that's another story. All right. Number 4, this one was this kind of personal, and this one's a gospel album. This one is Dietrich Haddon, his album called Resting Place.
Okay.
Uh that album gets on here for me because at that time I was dealing with a lot of personal stuff that was going on. You know what I'm saying? Family, stuff like that with my kids, a lot was going on. And I used to bump this album every day going to work. And it was one of the albums that got me through. If you never heard Dietrich Haddon's album, Resting Place, it was kind of when he first came out into the gospel scene. Love that album. So it got on there for sentimental reasons. All right. Number 3, Robin Thicke's Sex Therapy album.
Fire. Fire
Love that
album.
album. Listen, I had to put some R&B on here. That album I love, so that one had to be put on there. And of course, you know what I'm saying. Got to include, you know what I'm saying, our Caucasian brothers every now and then. You know what I'm saying. Ken had Amy Whitehouse, so you know what I'm saying. I dig her too, but you know what I'm saying. We had to put it on there. All right, now to my top 2. This was a struggle because both of these are pretty much West Coast artists, but they could flip 1 and 2 in terms of albums I love. DJ Quick's Balance and Options album,
Fire.
sick. Love that album. Listen, Things I Used to Do. I don't. Well, is the title of the song. Listen, him and Raphael Sadiq on that just killed it all. And Mossberg is on there too. Rest in peace to Mossberg, who was a really dope artist. Of course, those of you in Cali who know what's up, know what that situation's about. And then my number 1, I can get in my car and just put this album in, and I'm straight. D'Angelo's Voodoo album.
Fire.
I listen, send it on. I feel like making love. You just let the album play, and you just boom. Especially when you got the system. And D'Angelo at that time, man, he was dropping so many classic tracks, and then he just fell off the scene. Like it was crazy, right? But that album right there, actually, many of his albums to me are super tight. So that one makes my top album of the 2000 to 2012. So
Okay, so before I go to the comments and give you Trish Michelle's list and some of the lists that people are submitting in the comments, I got one question. So the Voodoo album, do
mhm.
you think the Voodoo album is better than his first album?
No,
Okay. All right.
no,
I just wanted to ask.
because what you call because the dopest song on that first album to me is the one with old girl. I'm forgetting her name. I can't even think of her now. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. But the what's her name? Who's with the Fugees? I know you.
Oh, Lauren Hill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing even matters. Listen,
Yeah, no,
I mean,
that's a classic. That's a classic,
that
bro.
song is just a classic. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
no.
Nah, that's a
But I love
classic.
I love the Voodoo album. I love pretty much all of D'Angelo's albums are sick to me. I can play them on if I'm chilling with my lady or whatever. I could if I'm cleaning my house, I could throw those albums on and I'm straight.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So those are fire. Great list, bro. Before we go to the musical goat of that era, let's go to the comments because
Yeah,
we got some lists in the comments. We got some comments in the comments that we
let's
will
do it.
read.
Let's do
So
it.
Trisha Michelle's list, her list is number 5, the Carter 3 by Lil
Ah,
Wayne.
Lil Wayne. Okay.
All right. Then we got In My Own Words, Neo, dope album.
Okay. Dope album. And he was actually a
Speaker
dope
Box,
artist.
Speaker Box, The Love Below by Outkast. Dope.
Okay.
Very dope. Very, very slept on, right? A lot of people don't talk about it enough. I feel like that album, super dope. With that double album, because a lot of people argue and say that was, both of them having their solo albums. So they count that as Andre's solo album, right?
Right.
But some people
Which,
argue
yeah.
that and say it's not, it's an Outkast album, but we neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dope
Dope album.
album
Yeah.
for both guys. Outkast. All right, Speaker Box, The Love Below. Then she got a number 2. She got The College Dropout. Kanye
Hey,
again.
can't
We
can't
have every
can't
week.
keep Kanye out your top 5.
Every
I'm just
week,
saying.
me and Trish and Michelle have at least one album the same on our list.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying. We on the same wavelength when it comes to music. Clearly. All right. So number 1, she didn't have the same Usher album I had. She had 8701, which is a dope album.
Right.
8701 is a dope album, but
Confessions over Confessions.
hey, you know what? This is her list.
That's her list. It's
It's her
right.
list.
It's right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Shout
right.
out to Trish Michelle. That's her list. But I'm just saying, like, if I said 8701, like, what's your favorite song? And I just asked a random person that, they would look at me with the blank face.
You probably won't know what's on that joint.
I'm
Because
just
I don't
saying.
even know what's on it. His favorite album to me is Hard to Love, so that's a different story.
Trish Michelle, if she was here, she'd kill me by taking a shot at her list like that. But I'm just saying, like,
she got her list got shot. I'm just saying. Only
hey,
because of the Usher album. That's it.
yeah, list is solid. Even
List
with
is
the
fire.
Usher album,
List
I
is
like
fire.
the 8701. I just couldn't put it over Confession. So,
Yeah.
that's the difference. But hey, different strokes for different folks, and that's what life's all about. So,
Hey, that
it's cool.
the Neo album was fire though.
Yeah, Neo's album was fire, but what a lot of people didn't realize about Neo at that time is he was doing a lot of behind the scenes writing and production. So a lot of the sounds that you heard from that album and you heard from other people were because he was working behind the scenes on their work as well.
Right.
So, it's a lot of interesting stuff that used to happen behind the scenes of music and still continues to happen. And you wonder why that sounds like somebody else would sound great singing it. It's because they wrote it.
Right.
Like Tank writes a lot of stuff.
Right.
For males and females, and
Right.
you're like, that would sound good with Tank singing it because he wrote it.
Tank wrote it.
So hey, it just music
That's
is
where
beautiful.
that's where the money is at. That's where a
the
lot of the good
production
money is at.
is where the money's at. True,
Yes, sir.
true. All right, so we got Tristan Michelle's list. We got On My Square got his list. All right, so he's got. Let's pop this up here. All right. So he's got Ghostface Killer, Supreme Clientele, Fire, Common B, 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying, Cameron, Purple Haze, Jay-Z, Blueprint. He's got some stuff I got on my list too. I got on my list. Ghostface Killer, I didn't want to inundate y'all with a bunch of Wu-Tang stuff because my top 5 could be all Wu-Tang all the time. And
On My Square, give us a couple honorable mentions that you could
don't want to keep putting Wu-Tang on everything, but y'all know I will do it. But that Purple Haze album is an album that I just listened to again last week, and let me tell you, it's slept on. Cameron has come to the forefront again with their podcast, and their podcast is banging. It's very entertaining. If not, it is what it is. That's what it's called. Y'all check it out. We support everybody trying to make moves and trying to put some good content out, and it's very entertaining. But Cameron had some bars. Now he did have some bars that was like, when he talking about computers putin on Get 'Em Girl, it's kind of like, what's computer? What is pewters putin? What is not computer pewters putin? But that's one of the lines that him and Mace go back and forth about. Okay, some of the bars that you had. What is this?
Right.
So but hey, dope list. He said honorable mention. He has Bun B Trill. Very dope album. And he has a sleeper album, Young Jeezy, Let's Get It, Thug Motivation 101, classic album.
Right.
Now, that is one of those albums. If you have subwoofers in your car, you should definitely be jamming that. You should definitely, if you haven't, and you need to do that. Or if you got subwoofers in your house, big speakers, Thug Motivation 101 at least one time for your boy.
Right.
You understand what we talking about, right? All right. So, but after you listen to that album, don't go out and sell drugs because you know what I'm saying, because you're inspired. You know what I'm saying? He's thug, he's motivating you to be a thug. Album
Facts.
is fire though. All right. So all right. So Denisha said her list is back. She's got Panic at the Disco. And she's got Outcast, Idlewild, Muse, Black Holes, and Revolutions, Lily Allen, All Right, Still, but Love Missy Elliott and Usher.
Okay.
Um, and on my square has J Dilla Donuts. Now, J Dilla Donuts is an instrumental. J Dilla is a producer out of Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
He was on my list for last week. I told you all if I had to pick a producer to make a song, he
BJ
was my
Dilla.
producer. I picked a lot of the sounds that you hear from somebody like a Kanye, and they're using a lot of soul samples and chops. A lot of Jay Dilla stuff was the inspiration for a lot of these other guys that do that type of
Mm-hmm.
sampling in their music now. So if you don't know who Jay Dilla is, do your Googles, go check him out, vibe to the instrumentals and the many projects that he was the soundtrack to, because he created a lot of beats for a lot of your favorite
Favorite
artists.
artist, right?
Yep. So, all right. So Trisha Michelle says Confessions is by far top as well. She just didn't want to bring back to back Usher. So she wanted to try
I
to,
mean,
make her list a little
I
eclectic.
get it. I get it.
Yeah. So, all right. That's what's up. All right, so we want to go to our musical GOAT for
Mm,
2000 to 2012. Now, again, these were very hard, but
tough. I just had to throw one on there. I was like, forget it. I ain't finna stress myself about
here we
this.
go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so we're gonna go Trisha Michelle first, since she already put hers in the audience. Her GOAT is Beyonce. She
Okay.
said she prefer her albums earlier on versus the more recent techno drag runway type of sounds. Although I do like that the earlier ones did do more for me, and
Right.
that's why she chose Beyonce. So Benji, who's your musical goat for 2000 2012?
Tough, but I had to go ahead and stick with what I figured be true to, and I had to just go DJ Quick. I just had to. It's like forget it.
All right, so let's talk about that. Why would you choose DJ Quick? What did he do in between 2000 and 2012 that will make him your musical goat?
Well, the production, if you remember, he was more than just doing his own music.
Mhm.
He would produce your Sugar Freeze. He would produce a lot of Snoop's albums. He would still do Whitney and Janet's music. Like even did some production with Kendrick Lamar.
Mhm.
So he was still even though he was still dropping albums, right? He was still heavy on the production side. And
Okay.
that's what most people forget about Quick is that he was really great in terms of the music he dropped, but he was even a better producer than he was a rapper. And that to me was like, you know what, go. I got to go with it because if I'm bumping an album of his, you get what I'm saying? Like usually it's all the way through, and then I can go and listen to something that he dropped with Sugar Free, who of course can't get away from Sugar Free's music, can't get away from Snoop's music, can't get away from some of the stuff he was doing with Death Row. Definitely can't get away from the stuff he was doing with Kendrick. And then when you consider him with Raphael Sadiq and all of them, it just you can't miss it.
All right, all right. I mean, hey, I completely understand because my musical goat for 2000 to 2012 is along those same lines. It's Kanye West.
Yeah,
Kanye West changed the way music was done, the way that I guess that music was produced, people was rapping. Like he came along with those soul samples that he was using, and like I said, we talked about Dilla a little bit, but Kanye changed the way that he was doing the samples. So they were all using samples, but it's just the way that they used them.
right.
And Kanye changed the game, man. And like I said, for that whole maybe decade or more, everything that came out was he
Was
was
fire.
something that he was doing, or something he had a hand in, or something that he himself, you know what I'm saying, a project of his own he was producing or he influenced.
Right.
So the 2000, 2012, I think Kanye West on my squares is spot on for me too, because he's mentioning is a toss up between Jay-Z, Kanye, and Lil Wayne.
I mean, those are tough.
Those were the people that I was going back and forth to, because Kanye had his run, and I think the thing that put him over for me was the production piece. But Lil Wayne, mixtape Wayne, in
Yeah.
that time frame, oh my God.
Agreed.
Oh my God. And Jay-Z just Mr.
Killing.
Consistent, right? He
Right.
just gonna keep coming out with albums that pique your interest and that are gonna be lyrically top tier. So, but mixtape Wayne was like tough.
Yeah.
2000, 2012 mixtape Wayne was tough. So those were actually my three that I was, going back and
Going
forth
back and
between.
forth
But
with, yeah.
I gave Kanye West a nod due to his production on top of it, because like, a lot of people don't give Kanye his due, but the dude got bars on top of bars as well. So
Right.
all right. So your favorite song from 2000 to 2012. Now this was super hard,
Yeah,
but
difficult.
my song that I picked, I know nobody's gonna really know it outside of maybe On My Square, but because he's heavy in I see we vibe with the same music, but you go first. You go first, Benji. Favorite song from 2000 2012.
Hey, listen, it's a song by DJ Quick and Sugar Free called Nobody.
Okay.
And I don't need nobody. I don't want nobody. I don't care about nobody. I
Who
just
knows that
care about
song?
me. I
Nobody.
mean, I mean, it don't matter.
I
It's
had
like
to. I had to,
it's
dog. It
like
was it was
it's
easy.
like
It was easy.
listen, if you own to, you know what I'm saying, that wavelength of songs between the music between Sugar Free and and Quick, like it was like, yo, it's like, all right, I could dig this song, right? But the more important part for me in it was Sugar Free's verse, because Sugar Free kind of comes in, was, you know what I'm saying, on his high horse, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, in his, in his pimping, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know what, Tiger Woods, what you doing apologizing to a prostitute? He just went
Folks,
hard, like in the whole, and
go
listen,
listen
it's just
to it.
super dope.
Go listen to that track. Go listen to the track so you can see where Benji
Yeah.
coming from. Because as I stated, who knows that song? Nobody. So you know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
listen, if you on that wavelength, if you know what's up, you know what's up. You know what's
Uh,
up.
all right. So Trisha Michelle said her favorite song is, again. See, we on the same wavelength. I didn't pick this song as my favorite, but it was on my list at first before I changed it. It's
Right.
Superstar on Usher's album, on Usher's Confession.
Okay.
I'm
Confessions
telling you,
out. Okay.
that song I'll be singing with my whole chest, and I'll sing at top of my lung. And yeah, I probably get a little raspy at the end because I can't sing, but that song is fire. Like I don't care where it's playing or when it's playing, I'm singing that joint and I'm
You gonna
singing
hit
it
you gonna
word for
you gonna
word.
hit the falsetto?
No, sir. Not
You're
not at all. Not at all.
like, all right, doing that
I know my limits.
one.
All right. So my favorite song from 2000 to 2012 is a song that is on Busta Rhymes, I think it's Anarchy album.
Mhm.
It's called Why We Die. And at that point, it had some titans, and these guys are titans.
Right.
But to have them all three on the same song was amazing, and that's Busta Rhymes featuring DMX and Jay-Z on one
Mm.
song. Like at that point in time, we hadn't heard that.
Right.
So when
Is
that
that
came out, it was like,
that was heat.
oh
I don't even think I've
my
heard that song before.
God.
I gotta go check it out.
Yo, you talking about bars from all three. So
Now I
you
know
know,
if
you
all
know
three of them are super competitive, so I
You
know if
know
they on a track
exactly. So
together,
you know
then yeah, you got some
they
heat.
all brought heat. So
Right.
check that track out. But it's a very, very dope track, and that's why I chose it. All right. So
All right, for
yeah.
sure.
All right. So next up, we got 2013 to 2023.
Mm.
Now, I'm gonna tell y'all right off, y'all not gonna hear nothing new on my list. Nothing that's probably came out maybe in the
Mm-hmm.
past 5 years, because it didn't make the list. Now, that's not to say that there's not good music that had come out, recently, but it didn't make my list.
Right.
So we can you can make sure in the audience that you bring it up if you think about new music that you like that we didn't mention. We'll talk
Right.
about it, but it didn't make my list. So, but yeah, the top 5 artist albums of 2013 to 2023. So,
Hmm.
um, Benji, you went first last time, right? I can't remember now. Did you go first? Or I went first.
I went first, and then we
All right,
went.
so
No,
I'll
no,
go.
you went first, then I went, then Patricia's list.
All right, so you go first this time.
All right. So top 5 albums from 2013 to 2023. All right. Number 5, I got Usher's "Hard to Love" album.
I knew that was
Yeah,
gonna be on your list somewhere.
yeah. Oh yeah, that I can play that album all the way through.
Okay.
So if I'm riding home, I can play that album all the way through.
You mentioned it
And
last week a little bit, so
oh yeah,
I had to go and listen to it again just to refresh myself. It's dope album, dope album.
hey, I dig that album. If I
Yeah.
can, if I can get in my ride and just coast and play an album and just let it play all the way through and not even worry about skipping nothing, you in my top. All right. Number 4 is Black Thought's "Streams of Thought." This is like a 2-part compilation for me. So like he dropped like a 4 and a 4, I believe it was a 6 and a 6. Didn't drop a whole bunch of songs on that. The reason I put Black Thought in there is because listen, at the time when I heard this, like I hadn't really listened to Black Thought like that. And so just the bars alone, I was like, forget it. You can play the whole thing through. I'm good. We're gonna play it. All right, number
Hold on.
3.
Before you go past that, he didn't
Yeah.
make my list, but y'all go Google Thought versus Everybody, Black Thought
Yes.
versus Everybody. And
Yes.
if you listen to that song,
Hey man, listen, the dude is
that song
otherworldly
alone
with the bars.
will make you a fan. Like people know who the Roots are, but as a solo artist, go listen to Black Thought versus Everybody. If you love bars and you really love
Everybody,
rap,
every
you're gonna enjoy
damn
that.
body.
You're gonna
Listen,
enjoy that for sure. All right, my guy, go right
no,
ahead.
that album is sick. Bars are otherworldly.
Yeah,
Like you can listen to it. You got to make sure you listen to it intensely because dude is saying a whole bunch of stuff that
as
you be
they say now,
like what?
he left Earth on that album.
It
He left
facts,
Earth.
facts. Number 3, I believe we're at this album. It's like a personal album because I used to listen to this artist, but never liked his whole albums. It's a gospel album. It's a dude called Sho Baraka, and the album is called The Narrative. And it's one of those, it's not a churchy gospel album. It's like a letter to young men, older men, like a letter to our folks. You know what I'm saying? And I love the album, especially I got one of my homegirls, Tamika Johnson, actually wrote one of my favorite songs on that album. If you ever go listen to a Sho Baraka, the narrative album, this it starts out, "Don't close the book, I got more to write." You can see, they see in color, they you see in color, I see black and white. Don't change. You can change the story. That is my advice. Like it's this whole dope just collaboration. I had to
Yeah.
throw some gospel in there, right?
Shout out to
So,
Show Baraka and the whole Reach Records movement. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? If you don't know who Reach Records is, you can go and Google it. They had guys like Trip Lee, they had guys like Lecrae on there
yeah.
as well. They had a few other artists that was very dope. So go check that out. Especially if you have kids and you want your kids to listen to something that's dope and they like rap, but you want to listen to something that's
Something clean.
got some clean and some good content. Reach Records is a great option. Great option. All right, go ahead, my guy.
Love this album because I can play it all the way through, no skips, and it's clean. I love it. So I had to put that in there. Number 2, this album was so dope to me when it dropped. Is Russ and his Chomp 2 album.
Okay.
He's got Jay Electronica on it. I mean, you like you just go through the whole list of dudes he got on it. And when the album first dropped, I was like, yeah, this album is sick. So what you mean we barely at 3? Oh yeah, forget you, girl. Go keep you're supposed to be on the show. Forget it. Shut up. And then and then Kendrick Lamar's album, Good Kid, Mad City was one of my favorites, but he also has an untitled playlist album that you
Mhm.
can only find on YouTube that is like sick. And yeah, yeah, that Kendrick got to be in the top, so he gets the top spot.
All right, all right. So we will go with Trisha Michelle's top five, and
Go
then
ahead.
then we'll go to mine last. Okay, and it's crazy because I looked at her top five again. People, I swear to you, we don't collab and we don't make our list together, but she has another album in the same spot on her list that I got on my list. It's just crazy. This is getting
Right.
out of control, Trisha Michelle, for real. All right, so her list consists of number five, Victory Lap, Nipsey Hussle. Fire album.
Yeah.
Fire album. And
I
listen,
didn't mention my honorable mentions, but his is Victory Lap is honorable mention album.
I was on Nipsey before everything happens. Like, I'm not saying that because people get mad well, just because we came when he passed away, we didn't know about his music. Like, I've been a Nipsey Hussle fan for a minute, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
From when I heard him on Drake's mixtape years ago.
Right.
He got a song with Drake called Killer. If you know about that song, like that song was well before Victory Lap, well before like when he was, first really getting his feet wet in the game and people were starting to know the name Nipsey Hussle. But that song Killer with Drake, fire. So
Mm-hmm.
check that out. All right. The number four on her list is Sold Out by Janae Aiko. Dope
Okay.
album. If you don't know about it, go check it out. Guarantee you'll vibe to it. Fellas, same with you. But I know the ladies will probably really like it. Number three, The Pimple Butterfly.
Yeah. Put any
Sonically,
Kendrick album up there. Yeah.
sonically,
Ridiculous.
that album was perfection. It was
Yes.
amazing. It was an
Yes.
amazing album. Shout out to my guy Thundercat. Thundercat had a lot of big influence on that album and his sound. So Thundercat is one of those guys who is one of my favorite artists. Didn't make my list, but he's got a lot of fire music. So Thundercat, remember that name. If you don't know it, go Google it. Number two, Lemonade, Beyonce, fire. Can't say anything about it. Like
Ah.
that
She
album
she go
produced a
she,
lot of hits.
Patricia gonna always have Beyonce on something on hers. You know
That
that.
album produced a lot of hits, bro. I'm just telling you,
Right.
like the Lemonade album is pretty much bulletproof. Like it got a lot of hits on it.
Right.
All right. So number one is Nothing Was the Same. Drake. That album by far was one of the best in the past decade.
I
If you
still
don't
haven't
like
heard it.
Drake, you whatever you say,
I mean,
go
I
listen to the
I I
album.
just say I just
If
wasn't that big on it, you know?
if you are a fan of hip hop, he's rapping on that album. Some of the other albums you might disagree, but on that album, he's rapping. So go check it out. I've seen comments. Some people don't like Drake. That's fine. Drake can really rap. Now, does Drake do a lot of commercial stuff? I think he does, but he understands what sells and how to stay relevant
Right, right,
because he's
right,
been relevant for almost 2 decades.
right.
So that's the formula. But can he really rap? Yes, Jimmy from from what's the Degrassi High can really rap. So all right, so dope list, Trish Michelle. We appreciate that. All right, so I'm gonna hit y'all on my list. My honorable mention for this era was Thundercat. Anything
Mhm.
Thundercat has done is fire. He got a song called Do Rag. That became my
Oh, you talking
that
about the
became
can I get a do right?
yeah,
That what you talking
hey,
about?
that song
Oh,
became my
snap.
favorite song during the pandemic, but it made me go through his whole catalog, and then
Catalog,
I
right.
got a chance to figure out who he was influenced by and who all the other artists that he wrote for and produced for, and Kendrick was one of them. So kind of led me
Mm,
down a rabbit hole, but he got a lot of great music. So if you don't know who Thundercat is, go do your Googles. All right. So at number five, I got Two Chains. So Help Me God.
okay.
If you don't know about this album, that is probably the most recent album that I have on my list. Pandemic 2020, listen to a lot of music. That album just stuck with me. Two Chains, great artist. Been in the game for a minute, you know what I'm saying, and proven. But that album, I think, is probably his best body of work. from
Right.
front to back, right? So I really enjoyed that album enough to put it at my number 5. All right. So number 4 is We Got It From Here by a Tribe Called Quest. It's a Tribe Called Quest last album as a group. As you know, they had one member, Fife Dog, who passed
Who passed
away,
away. Right.
and they had some tracks that he's on as well. But that was the last album that they'll be as a group. And they also had Jerobi, who was a member of the group who had left earlier, but he also became part of that project. And you know, Busta Rhymes is kind of like a little brother of the group, a
Right.
Tribe
You've been
Called Quest.
around
So
with him
he,
forever.
yeah, yeah. So he was a part of the
Oh my God.
uh,
Yes. Oh my
yeah,
God.
leaders
Yeah.
of the new school.
Yeah.
And so that album, if you haven't heard it, go check it out. Q-Tip, you already know Q-Tip is an amazing producer, amazing artist. Anything he puts his stamp on is solid. So go check it out if you haven't. Number 3, The Life of Pablo, Kanye West. If you're not familiar with that album, you
You
have
gotta put
got
Yee on there, huh?
you have got to go listen to The Life of Pablo. Like, if you listen to music after that album came out, again, everybody was trying to replicate his sound. Everybody was trying to replicate what Kanye West had come to the forefront and brought. So I think that album again started to change the way albums were sounding after that. So shout out to Kanye, Life of Pablo. Number 2, I'm a fan of Beyonce's Beyonce album. Beyonce
Okay.
self-titled album. To me, that was fire album.
Okay.
Like, I mean, some people may not like it. Some people may. I'm pretty sure, her Beehive, they love everything she does.
Everything she
But
dropped.
that album was her best album to me, in my opinion. So it's number 2 on my list. Number 1,
What they got a top 2 spot.
number 1. Um, it's crazy because Trisha Michelle had the same number 1, and we didn't. Like I said, we didn't collab it. Then that's Nothing Was the Same by Drake.
Okay.
Like, again, like it's hard to have lists and not put Drake on it because he's put out so much music,
Mhm.
but it's a lot of music that he put out that's quality stuff.
Right.
So you have to be able to weed in between the art and what he's really doing because he's rapping, and what he's really doing because he's trying to sell a record. So it's a little bit different. You got 2 different Drakes there. You got one that's really rapping, and then one that's trying to sell a record.
Right.
So yeah. So that's my number 1 spot. Nothing Was the Same. So all
Okay.
right.
Okay.
So now we got the musical GOAT for 2013 to 2023. So Trisha Michelle, if I'm not mistaken, in hers, she has Drake.
Okay.
So I'll go next. Again, I have Drake
Okay.
from 2013 to 2023. And I laugh because, as you see, today Ken did something different. I usually don't wear a lot of jewelry. I got all
You got
kind
all
of
the
chains
chains
on.
on today.
Like hey, like these rappers nowadays, when they're in the studio, that's all you hear. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When they rapping, you hear all the chains. You see they got all the chains. And one bar from Drake, he said he wear every single chain, even when he's in the house, because we started from the bottom. Now we
Now
here.
we here.
So
I'm just
when that
saying.
song,
I mean, I ain't mad
when
at it.
you
I ain't
put
mad
that
at it.
song on, started from the bottom, now we hear, everybody knows that song. I don't care who
Right.
you are. I don't care. Somebody grandma gonna
Started
sing
from the
that song,
bottom.
bro.
Now we're here. Started from the
Somebody
bottom.
grandma
Now
gonna
the whole
sing.
team here. Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody grandma gonna sing that song, bro. So I'm saying, like, that album, Nothing Was the Same, spawned a lot of hits, bro.
Right.
And you know, hey, but that's what it's all about for me. You know what I'm saying? Drake is a musical GOAT for 2013, 2023. Benji, musical GOAT.
Kendrick Lamar.
Can't argue with that at
Kendrick
all.
Lamar. Kendrick Lamar.
Can't argue with
I
it
mean,
at
it's
all.
just too many hits, just too many songs I can point to that I can get in my ride. If I wanted to play his Untitled playlist, if I wanted to play To Pimp a Butterfly, if I wanted to play the new album he dropped, Mr. Morale, like you just go on and on, not even considering the features he did with Rihanna, and then for the Black Panther movement, stars, you just name it, and with J Rock and like Isaiah Rashad, and you just go through all the music that they put together. It's
Mr.
just,
Morale had me in a chokehold. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Mr.
yeah,
Morale had me in a chokehold for like 2
same here,
months.
same
Literally,
here.
Literally, y'all, I was listening to this album at least once a day.
I,
The
I
whole
listened to
album,
the I listened to the album and I said that brother went to therapy.
bruh.
And
Like that
like it
album,
was it was legit.
a
It was
masterpiece. A
right,
masterpiece, bro.
right.
Like a lot of people got lost in it. They were like, I can't understand the direction he going, blah, blah. I heard
Because
a lot of feedback on it.
they ain't never been to therapy. They
I'm
wouldn't
like,
understand a man expressing himself like that. They wouldn't
but you know,
understand it.
the beauty of what Kendrick does is if you follow his work, even like my favorite Kendrick album is Section 80. If you
Right.
know about his catalog, Section 80 was, one of his earlier albums, but that was my introduction to Kendrick, and that was my
Mhm.
favorite album. But man, if you see the masterpieces, he puts his albums together like movies almost.
Exactly.
And if you listen to them in order, you can see the growth. You can
Now,
see how he's changing.
if you listen to his album that with Dre, and you listen to when Dre produced and he's on tracks with him, man, listen, he just rides a beat. B don't kill my vibe. Listen, him and Jay-Z were going at it on that track. Like it's sick. So he just, you know what I'm saying? Like when you can bring it all together to me, lyrically, beats, production, when you can put it all together and you can make it make sense. Listen, yeah, it's fire. So there's not too many Kendrick albums you would say really that there's not, you can't play them all the way through. You get what I'm saying?
I can't say one, and I've listened to the
Yeah,
whole catalog.
right.
Every single album when I listen to Kendrick's work, I'm listening to it from track one
Track
all the
one
way
all
through.
the way through.
I even created a playlist.
ADHD is ADHD from, I know this is back
Well,
earlier.
that's on
You know what I'm
section
saying?
80. That's on
Right,
section 80.
right,
So for me, I made a playlist with all his albums, and I started at the top and just let it play through all his albums. Like if I'm on a road trip or something,
right.
I know my family can tell you. They like, you listen to Kendrick Lamar
Kendrick all the way through.
all the way through. I go to Apple Music because I have a baby girl. I go to
Right.
Apple Music and I get the clean version, and I put them all on there, and I just listen to Kendrick Lamar while I'm driving. That's what I do.
Hey man, listen, Mr. Morale and Big Stepper, man, like that album was
Fire,
sick. Like he
fire.
got tracks on there with Summer Walker. Like he
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying? It just puts a whole collab together, and I dig it. So
Yep.
solid.
All right, so on my square put his list up, and I know Benji will be proud, and I'm proud of it because we
Yeah.
listen to on my square. I don't know who you are, brother, but
But I bet you got
we
some West
listen to
Side Gun on there.
we listen to the same music.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. So his list is a lot of my list. A lot of
Yes.
stuff I listen to. Benny the Butcher, Burden of Proof
Mm-hmm.
was an album I listened to every day. I
Right.
listened to it just about every day, especially during the pandemic. When it first came out, I
Conway.
listened to it every day. Conway the Machine, From King to God. Listen to that album multiple times.
Right.
Flatbush Zombies is a sleeper for a lot of people. They don't even know who that is. They have a very eclectic sound, group of guys. They associated with Joey Badass. So if you know who Joey Badass is, then Flatbush Zombies is, part of that crew. Dope album. A Laced Odyssey by JID.
Now I haven't
JID,
heard that one. I gotta go check that out.
you gotta check it out. Fire. And the
The
old
444
JID,
album.
JID, the Forever Story, and Jay-Z 444 album, masterpiece, if you
Right.
ask me. Now you got to be on a certain level to know what he's talking about on a lot of that stuff, because he's talking a lot of big business, a lot of
Right.
credits, a lot of things that can help build you up as a man or as a person. So
Right.
a lot of people wasn't trying to hear no education.
You right about
You know
that.
what I'm saying? So they
Just give us the sexy red and the beats, and that's it.
yeah, they was like, I can't shake my butt to him talking about credit. You know what I'm
You know what I'm
saying?
saying? Buying art and albums and going on, you know what I'm saying?
But
And
the
making
person who said
investment.
that is the same person who trying to fix your credit. That went over some people's head, but
Right,
so you'll
right,
get that
right.
as the preachers you say, you'll get that one when you get
We
home.
get home. Facts.
When you
Facts.
get home. All right. So on my square said honorable mention is Nas King's Disease 2.
Okay, yeah.
Listen,
I actually like
that
that. I actually like
that
that album
whole
too.
run with him and Hit Boy has been amazing.
Right.
And I heard they got another album coming. in
Well, Nas
2024.
says he got, man, he got unlimited. You got to remember how long Nas been in the game, bro.
But I'm
You know
just
how many
saying,
albums he got on
with
Pro
him and
Tools that
Hit
are
Boy,
just
have made, I think, 4 albums together.
right,
So they've been on this run. So
right,
I think that, they talked about they had another album coming in 2024, but they've had project after project, and they not missing, bro. Because like
right,
after Nas did that album with Kanye, which was dope album to me, some people didn't like it, thought it was kind of weird for them to have Nas and Kanye together. Fire album to me, but when he got with Hit Boy, it's like he got in the pocket. They got in the pocket together, and they just been making magic. So
right.
yeah.
I mean,
So
Nas can put out albums for the next 20 years, probably, man. He probably got so much stuff locked away in the archive, it's ridiculous.
well, he's one of the few artists that people have allowed to grow.
Right,
Right. And we talked about this last week when, we in hip hop and rap, a lot of times we don't allow our artists to grow. We don't want to hear them rap later. But, Nas is the perfect example of being able to rap in different decades and still remain relevant. Jay-Z, same thing,
right,
rapping in different decades and still remaining relevant.
right.
So, we got to give our artists that opportunity to grow, man, because some of these guys got a lot of good things to say. We just have to be willing to listen.
Very true.
All right, so my favorite song from 2013 to
Mm,
2023. I got a
mm.
song, of course, again, most people won't know it. It's deep in the bag, but it has your favorite artist on it from 20. If you love hip hop and you love rap, this got one of your favorite artists on. One of these guys got to be your favorite artist.
Okay.
It's a song that it has a lot of features on it. It's by ASAP Rocky. It's called One Train.
Mm,
Do your Googles. Go Google it. Go to Apple Music. Pull up One Train. It's by ASAP Rocky. So featuring on this song is fire. The features, bro. The bars that you got on this song. He got Kendrick Lamar. He got Joey Badass. He got Yellow Wolf. He got Danny Brown from Detroit. He got Action Bronson, and he got Big Crit.
oh,
All on one
on one
song.
album. I mean, on one song. Yeah.
The song is probably 6 minutes long. It's a long song, but everybody
Yeah, I've been
got
saying with them in the features, you got to have about
everybody got
6 minutes.
16, and everybody got a mean 16. They went to war. It was a war on that song. So, but it was a very dope song, and it was one of the songs, like I said, that's for me that embodied that time frame, and I listen to probably pretty regularly on a daily basis. At least one time it comes up in my playlist.
All right. All right.
All right. So your favorite song?
Snoop Dogg, Sugar Free. Don't be thinking with your boy. Like,
Okay.
listen. Uh listen, I have this mad scientist. I don't even want to call it that. Just this idea. If I get in my car and I play a song, it gotta slap. And I gotta want to push rewind on that joint,
Mhm.
playback over and over again. I can ride and listen to this song back to back to back to back and just ride and just be straight. And it's just it's some free game on wax. And it's very quite simple. It's one of those tracks to where the old heads is telling the young heads, listen, this is the problem you're gonna have if you're thinking with your Johnson.
Okay.
If
I mean,
if you don't master that part of you, you're gonna have a problem.
y'all know Benji got to be 40 plus. That man said, "Thinking with Joe Johnson."
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
That man said,
I'm trying to keep it clean. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
"That man,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
hold on, that
saying?
man said Johnson."
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
And when
saying?
the
You
last
know?
time you heard somebody refer to a man's sexual organ as his Johnson?
Johnson. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, we're trying to keep it clean. You know what I'm saying? We don't want YouTube. Now we're on
Oh
Instagram
man,
and we're on Facebook and we're rolling with thousands of followers. You know what I'm saying? When we get it up
oh
there,
man,
we
boy
don't want them
said,
to cancel us, fam.
I'm
You
gonna
know what I'm
start
saying?
saying that for 2024, when I refer to anything that even if a man is his real name is Robert, but
Call
they
them
call
Johnson.
him his nickname, and you know what they call people that's nicknamed for Robert? I'm gonna call him Johnson.
Johnson. Hey, listen, Magic Johnson, they say he wasted the perfect Porn
Porn
name.
name. Yeah. Magic
Magic
Johnson was,
Johnson.
back in those days it would have been fire. And I guess his Johnson is magic because he made A disappear.
Hey,
I
some
mean,
people around here in LA, they say he just did that to get out of that Lakers contract because it was
I
like a 20
listen,
year, 20 million.
listen.
You know what I'm
When it
saying? That's another story. But
when it comes to
hey.
jokes, I picked a low hanging fruit. Ken will will make a joke out of anything. So hey,
Somebody said he just wanted out of that Laker contract because he signed a bad deal. So I don't
eh,
know.
it
I don't
could
know.
be. It could be. I don't know, but that man
Cookie
is
stayed
living.
with him though. So I
That
don't
man
know.
is healthy. Cookie ain't got it. He ain't got it no more. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that man is prospering and making big moves every which way you can think about. So
Yeah, he's
shout out to
NFL
Magic
and a
Johnson.
part of NFL owner now. That's dope. To have a
Yeah,
brother
shout
up
out to
there.
Magic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, so all right, so Trisha Michelle's favorite song. She got Sound Cake by Drake, but I know what she means. It's a song called Pound Cake by
Pound
Drake.
cake.
Yeah. So Google it. It's a dope song. It's kind of like one of those songs where he has two songs in one.
Mm-hmm.
Very dope song from the album that she mentioned. That's one of her favorite albums. So you have to look it up and check that out. You know what I'm saying? That's for sure.
Okay, for
All right.
sure.
So Denisha said the Black Eyed Peas was rolling in the Millennium. They
Okay.
were. The
Yep,
Black Eyed
I give
Peas
it to him.
definitely had a run. They definitely had a run, and will.i.am is another one of those guys who does a lot of production for people.
Right.
And I don't think he gets enough credit for the music that he creates behind the boards. You know what I'm saying? Because when people don't hear Fergie or they don't hear, him or the other guy in the group who probably nobody knows,
Right.
like they don't put it all together. But will.i.am and Fergie, they do some great stuff as individuals. But the
Right.
Black Eyed Peas did have a really great run, and will.i.am is still doing music. So all
Hey,
right,
he when he was popping, when he was really popping. I don't
yeah,
know what he's doing now because I don't follow him like that. But
production. He's
when
still
his
doing
stuff was coming
production.
out, he was still
Yeah,
legit.
still doing production. All right, on my square says favorite song is the Rock Boys, and the winner is. I played that song over and over again when I was in Iraq.
All
That
right.
song hard. That song hard. Like the song hard, the lyrics, the horns. If y'all know what that song, the Rock Boys, if you don't, look it up. Look up all this music we're talking about so you can understand why we like it. But that song is a party song, like low key party. It's like when you're celebrating with your boys and you raising champagne glasses. And that's the type of mood that they got going in the video, celebrating with the
Right.
guys. That's what that song is about, and that's what it embodies. So
Right.
shout out to On My Square, Rock Boys. Very, very dope song. All right. So we got a couple more questions before we wrap it up. All right. So I just come up with these questions sometimes off the top of my head and ask and, to create some conversation for us. So the next question is, what artist from the 70s, 80s, and 90s to bring back everything that we talked about in previous episodes dealing with music that is not currently making music, do you think we'll be able to put out good music right now?
Marvin Gaye.
Can't he got to be alive? He can't
Oh,
put out
gotta
music
be
right
alive.
now.
God
He
dog.
can't he
So
can't put out music right now. He
that is
could
a fact.
he
That
could
is
if
a
he's an
fact.
AI
He could if he was here.
if he was AI. If it's AI, you know what I'm saying? You could do that. You could do that. So
Okay,
in the
so
audience,
70s.
y'all think about that while I talk about my pick.
Okay.
Benji, you can think about it for a minute, see if you can jog, because this was a hard question. I
Hmm.
had to really do some thinking, and you know, Trish Michelle said Lauren Hill, great pick. She doesn't
Right.
have anything out. She would come out right now with some new music. Everybody would lose their mind.
Right.
Period. But my pick, my pick was different, right? And it's gonna be a surprise for some people, but you're gonna understand it. My pick was Tevin Campbell
Okay.
because I think with his vocal ability and the way he sings and what he's all about right now, and what people know about his life personally, I think everything that he has going on about him and him coming out with a project will be appealing to the masses.
I would agree. I would agree.
right? And
Because he
because of
still
his
got his vocals. Yeah, it's
yeah,
just
and because of his track
vocals
record
alone. Right.
and his track record with the hits, people will be interested and want to hear the music. So I think that Tevin Campbell would be, you know what I'm saying, one that if he put out music right now, I think it'd be good music and I think the people will listen to it.
Babyface for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
I can see that.
listen, he been around for a long, long, long time, and he's serenaded. You know what I'm saying? My crush. You know what I'm saying? Tony Braxton for quite a long time, and you know what I'm saying? He makes you know what I'm saying the romantic music. So you know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? I don't appreciate him romanticizing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? My crush, Tony Braxton, but the brother has been making music for a long time and
A very long time.
very long time. And it's amazing that every time he makes something, it's relevant. He's got a track with Lucky Day that is ridiculous.
Wait a minute. Let's put a let's not glaze over Lucky Day. Wait a minute. That guy is onto something.
Yeah,
Right? Like if you don't know who Lucky Day is,
yeah,
you need to do that. You need to look him up. You need to go to Amazon. You need to go to Apple Music, wherever you stream your music, and go look up Lucky Day. Pull his projects because he's on the R&B Now list on Apple for sure. Because I heard it
fire.
today. He got a lot of fire albums. He got I think 3 albums out so far. I think two or
Yeah,
three. I know for sure.
got two.
But
I know two of them. I'd have to
yeah,
check
but
out the other.
he's
Yeah,
got new stuff that he just came out with. 2 new singles that I think he just came out with in the past couple months. Bruh, like I'm
fire.
anticipating the next album. That dude can sing. He's got you know the presence. He's got the voice. He's got the concepts and stuff on the albums. Like he on to something, bro. He
He
might be
is.
one of those artists who can actually, you know what I'm saying, stick around for a little
For a
while.
long time. Depends on where his head is at. I don't know him personally, but in terms of vocals, and hopefully he's not being misused, you know what I'm saying? Production wise, hopefully he owns his stuff or whatever. But whatever, man, like the kid, this I was introduced to him off a song called Roll Some Mo.
Oh
And
yeah.
that was like what I want to say like 6, 7 years ago, maybe. I don't know how long ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, somewhere around there. But yeah, his song with Babyface. Listen, man, I don't know what Babyface keep doing to keep regenerating or reinventing himself in terms of writing and singing and music and all of that. But the dude been around forever, and he ain't stopped making good music. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
All right, and Trisha Michelle brought up Brent Fayez and Black. Those
Hmm.
two guys make exceptional music as well. New artists who have been featured on some other stuff, some great songs. That's how I got a chance to know them when as they were featured, and then I
Right,
went, you know, and actually looked them up to hear their own work, and I wasn't disappointed at all.
right.
So yeah, it's a lot of great young artists out right now, man. Old school people, get out of your shell.
Yes, listen to
Get
some new
out of your
stuff.
shell. I'm not saying you gotta fully embrace all this new music because some of it just ain't for you. And
Right.
let's just say that some of this music don't appeal to you because it ain't for you. So when Sexy Red is talking about, you know what I'm saying, bend it over, let that coochie
Oh no,
breathe.
man. Some of these grandmamas be popping it to that
But
though.
if it is, if she is, it's cool. But you know what? It's not for us. It's
Right.
not for us
It
to
ain't my
enjoy.
style.
So you know, the fact that we don't feel it is it don't matter to them
Right.
because we're not their target demographic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to not like certain music, and it's okay to to not listen to it because guess what? These kids they're gonna listen to it.
Right. Right.
Point blank. Period. So
That's just facts. Yo,
yeah.
and to you Christian folks out there, I want to break something to you. If you got teenage children, I promise you, they're listening to some hip hop.
What you mean? The
I'm t-
teenagers, the grown-ups,
the
they
grown-ups
listening
is
to it.
too,
They
yeah.
listening to it
But
on the way to
but you
church.
know, but you know, some of these some of these older parents, you know what I'm saying? They don't believe they believe their kids is angels, man. I'd be like, hold on, doc.
Man,
I'm
you
just saying.
listen.
Like
I tell
I
people all the
witnessed it. I'm like,
I tell people
listen,
all the time.
listen to your kid, man.
if
Go
you
in their room and listen. Tell them to take out, listen to that head. Pass them the headset. Go on, listen to their Apple Music a little bit, and you'll see they listening to some music.
shout out to my moms, man. My mom's came in my room one time. I'll never forget it. I think I was about 16. I was listening to Biggie Ready to Die, and she liked to have a fit. She was ready to die when she heard what I was listening to, because she was like, "What in the
The
world is
world
this?"
is that.
So it's not new that the teenagers are listening to this wild stuff, but I'm telling you
Right.
right now, the parents are listening to it right along with most of them.
It's facts.
So and that's like I said, they listen to it on the way to church. They sitting in church humming it. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, pop that coochie going to church. Like, hold on. No wonder you can't get
Then
in the
that thing
spirit.
go. Let that coochie breathe.
That you up there popping? Oh, come on now. I'll tell you the weirdest story. When I first left Texas and came to Cali, my uncle and my aunt was super religious, bro, right? And I was in my room. I had my own little room. I would be bumping Tupac Smile like super loud, like throughout the house. My aunt came over, was like, "Man, listen, we don't listen to that around here." Man, I had to get rid of the whole catalog. That's when I had to start listening to Phil Collins and Simply Red and all of that. So that's what expanded my music, because I couldn't listen to Smile for Me and Rolling Blunts and all of that. So I had to change it up a bit.
Oh man, yeah. Hey, and I tell people all the time, man, just because you go to church don't mean you holier than thou. People go to
Facts.
hospital because they sick. People go to church
Right.
because they need help.
Exactly.
So you know what
They
I'm
need to hear
saying?
something inspirational,
Yeah.
uplifting and encouraging.
So don't think because people go to church they, you know what I'm saying, they perfect because they far from it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody in church, even the pastor got some even the pastor got dice in his pocket. You
You
know what I'm
better believe
saying?
it.
So you know what I'm saying, take it for what it is, try to use it as inspiration and try to use it as guidance, and that just let that be that, man, because
Facts.
it's a lot of people that's pulling off the parking lot after church bumping, you know what I'm
Bumping.
saying, sexy red. I'm
Hey
sure.
yo, pumping that no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and hit that little beat, that little thump in there. You know what I'm saying? You bumping off,
Yeah,
playing the
yeah,
sound.
they gonna bump off till they turn that corner. They turn that corner and doom, doom,
Dude,
doom, doom. It's like, yeah.
be thumping and don't have no system in that joint. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Don't blow your 6x9s out, okay? All right,
going hard with it right in the church
hey, hey,
parking lot.
hey, KLC said the pastor got that roll blunt in his pocket. Hey, man.
Hey man, he needed dealing with some of these church folk. I can promise you that.
Hey, I can guarantee you there's some pastors out there in Cali that roll up religiously,
Oh
that
yeah,
roll
no
out the
doubt,
parking lot
no doubt,
puffing.
no doubt. Yes,
I
Lord.
need my
It's legal.
medicine. I
We
need my medicine. I need my
hey, listen.
medicine.
Scripture says, obey the laws of the land. If the law says it's approved, they're gonna push forward. I can
God
promise you
has
that.
blessed the earth with this herb, and I will smoke it.
That is a fact. That is a
Lift
fact.
your hand. This is a lift your hands moment. Lift your hands if you're high.
I mean, listen.
You come to church
I know
high,
preachers who used to
you get high on the
who
Lord, you
used
can
to
get
drink before they preach.
Hey,
They
man, you
couldn't
gotta get
handle. They
loose.
couldn't handle the nerves
Yeah.
of getting up before all them people. So
Hey,
they
check it.
used to.
Hey, sip you a little
They
bit of that
had to.
hen dog so you don't send dog.
Yes, they would. Yes,
Hey,
that's
man.
true.
Hey, you know what? You know what? And I tell people all the time too. We getting off track a little bit, but
Hey, but it's all right. We
we
at the
finna
end
really
of the
back in.
show.
We finna really back in, y'all. All
Yeah.
right. So when people gotta understand too, when we talk about drinking and smoking might be a little different, but drinking, when people talk about drinking in church and stuff like that, people have it misconstrued. Now, it's not a sin to have a drink.
Sin to
It's
get
a
drunk.
sin to get drunk.
To get
So
drunk.
let's just get
That's
that
what
clear.
sin is at.
So the pastor have a
And
little
if you need
little nip.
clarity with that, listen. Jews used to drink wine. People, I just want you to know.
They used to drink
Okay.
wine at church. When some churches they have a little sippy sip, you know what I'm saying, to go with that cracker. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? You got
Well,
the
I
wine and the
mean,
cracker.
during communion, Paul told them, "What y'all doing getting drunk at the communion table? What's wrong with y'all?" So
Hey
I mean,
man.
hey, let's get back to the music. So we can
Yeah,
get
let's
up
get
out of
back to
here,
the
bro.
music. You know
Let's
what I'm
get back
saying?
to music. We can
All
get up
right.
out of
So so all right. So the next question that I have is going to be the last question of tonight.
Right.
Now, this is a hard one. This is a hard one. So I'm looking for good answers from the audience. If you could put together a current track, it has to be a top 10 hit. What producer and two artists would you want on that track?
I got mine already. Do you got yours? I know you got
Yeah,
yours.
I got mine, but we'll let you go first this time, and we'll wait for Trisha Michelle to put
Uh,
hers in the comments.
my producer will be KDDDO, and if I
Who
could get Tim's
who
and
who,
Chris,
who is that? Who is KDDDO?
he is the producer who produces Tim's,
Okay,
the
okay,
Nigerian woman.
yeah. I know you're talking about.
So Tim's, if I could get him to produce a song, because Chris Brown now has the song out, Sensational,
Yeah,
that's
so you're
kind
looking
of
for
gives
Afro
you
beats.
that Afro beat type of feel.
Yeah,
And to put Tim's and Chris Brown and KDD on DDO
fire.
on the track, I would love that. I
I
would love
think
that.
I don't know what Trisha Michelle is gonna come up with, but I think that beats what I came up with.
Yeah,
I personally I
right.
like that. I really like that combination because I like that song Sensational.
Oh
I
yeah, the
think
song
I
is
think
fire.
when I first heard it before it became a single, I knew it was gonna be a hit. I was
Yeah,
like, this gonna be a hit, bro. When I heard the
fact.
album, I was like, this gonna be a hit. I know it.
And if you pair it with the Nigerian, Tim's, you know what I'm saying? Like, which she's
Oh
got
yeah.
some banging tracks out right now.
I'm
You put
surprised
both of
they
them on
haven't
an
put
album.
that together. That's not even a remix or something. I'm gonna
I
have to do my
mean,
Googles.
it, it,
Some
it might be. I don't know. It
yeah.
might be. And I
Yeah.
haven't checked it out. But I
I,
instantly thought of that. And I was like, because the Sensational is out now. And again, that song is fire.
yeah,
And Tim's with her stuff that's just released. So
did I hear it or did I imagine it and wanted to want to hear it? But it would sound amazing together. And I know it's a lot of DJs who who do mashups who can
mashups,
put
right.
vocals over, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just about matching the BPM and
Right.
it's very easy to do.
Right.
So but yeah, I think if they haven't done it, that would be a dope remix to it because I mean it'd be fire.
I would love that.
Um, another hit that I want to talk about really quickly is the song called Water. Um, I forgot the name of the artist. Let me do my
Google
Googles
it real quick.
right quick.
Do your
But
Google.
but this young lady, Tyler, this young lady, Trisha Michelle said, I hate that song. That song is everywhere, but she has multiple remixes, and she
Mhm.
has a remix with that has Travis Scott on it.
Mm.
That's very dope. Um, and that young lady is in that lane of Afro beats kind of sounding music, and that song is fire as well. So I think that song, a lot of people are remixing that song and jumping on, putting their own twist to it.
Right.
But as Trisha Michelle is stating in the comments, that's one of those songs that is on TikTok and everybody's making TikToks to it, and of course that's gonna run the numbers up too.
Right.
All right. So my track that I would put together is Hit Boy,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna put Kendrick Lamar on it, and I'm gonna put Coco Jones on it.
Okay. Coco Jones
It's
is fire.
yeah, and it's something that I hadn't heard that I think the combination of those three would produce a new sound that I think people would gravitate to.
Right.
So, putting that in the atmosphere, I'm gonna have to send it to Hit Boy's inbox and hopefully he can see it and maybe they can put it together.
Right.
And show you boy some love on it, you know what I'm saying? Because I
Right.
came
You know
up
what I'm
with the
saying? I came
idea,
up
you
with
know what I'm
the
saying?
idea. Yeah. Facts.
Maybe Hit Boy let me come in and give him, a few of my beats, you know what I'm saying, to give him some inspiration, you know,
Facts.
you know what I'm saying, for a different sound. But
Facts.
yeah, so that would be my song with Hit Boy, Kendrick Lamar, and Coco Jones, because Coco Jones is putting out some hits right now too. She has a viral song, of course, but
Right.
her newest single is very dope. And again, that's on that Apple R&B Now list. So if you have access to Apple Music, go to R&B
Go check it
Now
out.
and check that out. So on my square said he would do Ninth Wonder which is
J. Cole and her.
amazing producer, and J. Cole and her. That's interesting. I know Ninth Wonder and J. Cole would mash up great
Right.
because that's just the pocket that those
Right.
two belong in together. But I
Right.
think her would add an interesting dynamic to it. So yeah, I like that on my square. That's dope. Some of this stuff, if I actually had time to sit and play with music like I used to, like you could kind of do mashups and kind of get an idea for what some of
What
this stuff would
songs to
sound
fit?
like.
Right.
And that was a fun time in my life where I had time to sit there and just take vocals off of songs and put it over beats that it didn't belong on, and just imagine what these artists would sound like if they were on this type of production from this person. So
Right.
yeah. So all right, so Denisha said that she would go with Kendrick and her.
Hmm.
I think that would be a good, let's just be honest, man. You could put
But
her on a
Kendrick,
lot of stuff,
yeah,
but you can put Kendrick on a lot of stuff too.
yeah,
He's very versatile. He's very versatile in
facts,
his
facts.
flow. So you can pair him with a lot of different people. So
Hmm.
yeah. Okay, Trisha Michelle said Lauryn Hill featuring Tim's, produced by now Trisha Michelle. You gonna have to tell me how to say this. This is Tajiri. It's an Afro Beats producer who was producer for Tim's as well.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Lauryn Hill and Tim's, that's different, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
I I'm trying to, as people are saying this stuff, I'm trying to imagine the song in my mind. Like I'm trying to conjure it up so I can hear it. But yeah, that would be dope.
facts.
Dope, dope, dope. All right. So I think with those suggestions are amazing. I think, hopefully we're putting some good things in the atmosphere that somebody will see this and say, you know what, I saw this on the show and I think it would be a great idea if we try this. And even if we don't get the credit for it, I'm cool with it. I just
As long
love
as
good
it happens.
music. Yeah,
Right.
we just love good music and we want to hear it. We want to hear the collabs. We want to hear new stuff. And I think there is a lane right now because also on the R&B Now list, there was a lot of songs that were remakes
Right.
and where they sampled songs from the 90s and early 2000s. So I think there's a lane now for artists that haven't had hits out or haven't been out for a while to have a resurgence if they chose to, because their sound is relevant again. Right? You know how everything goes in cycles. Seems
Right.
like 20-year cycles. So everything comes back around again. You remember bell bottoms were popping in the 70s, they went out in the 80s, but in the 90s, what they were doing,
Comes
wearing
right
bell
back.
bottoms again. And now from the 90s to early some part of the 2000s, you start seeing people with bell bottom ish, ladies with bell bottom ish type pants again. So everything, kind of goes in cycles. Music is no exception, right?
Hmm.
Music goes in cycles. There's a lot of stuff that's gonna regurgitate. There's a lot of stuff that's gonna come back. So I think now is one of those things where a lot of artists who kind of faded away in the past
Hmm.
could actually come back.
I
Somebody like
agree.
MC Hammer, not so much.
Nah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't
So,
think he. Yeah,
somebody like
he
Tevin,
he can't do
somebody
all
like
that dancing, and he wasn't that
somebody
good of
like
a
Tevin
rapper.
Campbell, yeah,
Ted for
somebody like
sure.
Tevin Campbell might be able to do
Facts.
that. So
Facts.
now, y'all remember this. If y'all hear an album or anything come out from Tevin Campbell in 2024, your boy said it first.
Right.
I said it first. I haven't heard anything. He's been on shows and he's been doing performances. I think they're on tour. So he's been performing his older hits, but I really feel like this will be a good time for him to come out with some new music.
I agree.
So hopefully we can start getting new music from artists like him that we hold in high regard from from the past. And now this is a stretch, a big stretch, but I would love to hear something new from Lauryn Hill, bro.
I mean, listen, fam. She yeah, she just ain't into it like she used to.
I wonder if
I mean,
I
it's like
I wonder if Erica
she
Badu
riding that album.
I wonder if Erica Badu can get Lauryn Hill to do some music. That would be amazing for them to do a
I
track
mean,
together.
that is true. That is true. She may be under
That
some
might be
kind of
too powerful
weird
though.
contractual stuff, man. Ain't
That
no
might be
telling
too
what's going on
powerful.
with her.
That's like really powerful to have both of them on one track. That might be overload. I
Right.
don't know. That might overload our circus, bro.
Hey, we need it. And
To
throw
have both
Andre
of them.
3000 on there while you're at it.
That would be amazing.
I'm just
That
saying.
would be amazing, bro. Now, if it's anybody that could get him maybe to do some music, it's probably Erica.
I mean, possibly. You know, women can get brothers to do a lot of stuff.
Well, she had him out there wearing weird clothes. So okay, so what another dope song would be Erica Badu with Common, with Jay Electronica and Andre 3000 and DOC all on one song. Call it Family Affair because they
Right.
they're all men that she dated, and 3 of them she has kids by. So
Listen, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If she can get
I
all
mean,
the dudes she dated in the same room to do a track, well, we're in a digital era. You ain't even got to be in the
a brother
studio no
could
more.
dream. You know what I'm saying? A brother could dream.
Possibly.
I mean, you know what? I brought something before we wrap up. I brought something that was really funny when I started thinking about 2000 to 2023, right? So I thought about what I was listening to music on, and it brought me to my phones. You remember when we first had these phones and we could put little songs on them? You know what I'm
Man.
saying? And you could
Welcome to the new
listen to
era.
little MP3 tracks, right? So we had
Welcome
this
to the
phone,
new
right?
era.
Shout out to people who had this phone, like this little flip phone. You know what I'm saying? My pops, he still likes them. You know what I'm saying? Little flip phones, right? Then we elevated. We elevated to these right here. You know what I'm saying? To these phones, these little sideways like sidekicks. You know what I'm saying? HTC phones.
Right.
Everybody knows. Shout out to people who had these. You know, you thought you had the little keyboard or the little two-way texting. When texting first came out, you know you was popping if you had
Right.
one of these boys. All right, but you know where we at now. Like
Yeah.
Benji said, you know where we at now. We got the
Yeah,
iPhones. You know what I'm saying?
we here now.
Yeah.
Here now.
Shout out to my moms.
Big, small,
Look at
all of
me. Look at me and my moms on, you know what I'm saying? I got my moms on my screensaver, you know what I'm saying? So you know it's official. But yeah, man, it's just crazy how much, technology has changed, and music has changed. And it's just beautiful to see that, like, I think really from the 80s when, most of us were being born around that time,
Mhm.
and watching music progress, watching technology progress, and it took so many leaps and bounds. I think really within that new millennium of 2000 forward, man, stuff
Right.
started to
I
change
mean,
dramatically, right?
music gave it that feel, man. Like,
The
yeah.
w- the way we listen to music and the way we get music when streaming came about started to change a lot of stuff. But I want to say this. I want to implore again the older crowd to give a lot of these young artists a chance, right? Especially if you have kids. I know a lot of you all listen to the music some of your kids listen to and say, I don't want to listen to that junk. Well,
Right.
I think it would behoove you to at least take a listen.
You definitely got to.
Because
Because they
some of that
listening
stuff,
to some stuff.
yeah, some of that stuff they don't need to be listening to,
Your
and
kids listening to some stuff. I can promise you that.
is they not ready for it, mentally. Because y'all
Right.
know when we was 13 or 14 and we was listening to R. Kelly and all
When we
these
tried to
other,
try it.
it for me, I wasn't trying to sell no drugs, but I was trying to rub up on something. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
mean,
it's
listen, we
certain
was
things that
trying
influenced
everything they
me,
were saying. We was
right?
trying everything the rapper was saying. We was trying to
So
figure it all out because we was free birds coming from where I came from. We was trying to check on you.
it would behoove you to listen to
Listen
some of
to
the
what your
music that
kids
your
listening
kids are
to.
listening to. Some of it you probably gonna like, and some of it you probably gonna be appalled at.
Oh, 90% appalled. I can promise you
I ain't
that.
gonna say 90%. I ain't gonna go on that limb because some of that stuff is good music. You
I
just have
mean,
to
it
give it a
is.
chance. But
It's just the thought of your little girl being comfortable with being, you know what I'm saying? She's a B, she's a H, she's a this, she's a that, and she did this and
true.
she does this for me is a sobering concept when it's
But
coming through the ears of your little ones,
a lot of these
even your
ladies listen.
boys.
A lot of these ladies listen to that music in the company of their kids,
You better
and
believe it.
they're advocate for it.
Yeah, you
So
true. Because they're trying to get with a rapper.
Well, that, but it's just I think, a lot of parents take that stance of, well, they're gonna hear it anyway.
Right.
So they might as well listen to it with me. And for me, it's like as my sons got older, now that they're grown, they
Mhm.
listen to certain stuff and I listen to it with them. But when they were in high school, they can tell you we might listen to the same music, but I'm definitely not listening to the unedited version.
Edge version, right.
And people get on to me about that all the time. Ken, how you listen to clean music, clean music, clean? I'm like, I don't mind it because I'm not listening for the curse words. I'm
Right.
listening for the art. And
Right.
for me to sit in the car with my kids and not hear the curse words for that moment, and I can hear them later if I want to, I don't mind that. Right? Yeah, I know my kids ain't perfect. I know they probably curse and they probably do all this stuff, but I'm not gonna be an advocate for it.
Can't advocate for it, right.
Right.
That's right.
So that's the way I look at it. Not knocking anybody's parenting skills or whatever. You do what's best for you and yours. But I just say, for me, I love music. My kids love music, but I want them to understand that it's a time and a place for everything.
Facts.
Right. So, you don't want to, and you don't want to be that person that's sitting in church and your phone go off in church and your ringtone is
You
bend
ain't nothing
that ass
but a
over.
hoochie
Let
mama.
that coochie breathe.
Hoochie mama.
No, they gonna let that ass breathe. Man, that
Your pastor
coochie
trying to
pink,
preach
booty
and your
hole brown.
ringtone go off.
Yeah, yeah. So watch out now. The old folks say,
Pop that
watch
coochie.
out now.
Hey, pop that. You know it doesn't happen to you before. Don't be like
Oh
you a
no,
wild
Christian
no
Michelle
way.
said WAP. Now I did hear
Ooh, now if that
I
song
did
went
hear
off.
the beginning of WAP playing on somebody's phone in church one Sunday. I'm
Dang,
not lying to you. So Trisha
dang.
Michelle, she's saying she's kidding. No, I heard it. I
Nah,
heard the sound start, and then they must have hit the side button really quickly, and
you know them.
then
You
put their
know them
phone
church.
up.
Listen, church folks are not excluded from being nasty. I just want you to know that. They just as wild.
Yeah, no,
Just
you gotta, yeah, and then you sometimes you gotta be nasty on your own time. You know what I'm saying? You just pray over it
that's
before you
facts.
eat it.
Blessed, blessed before you fillet it. Hey, listen.
Ah
Long as it's
man.
done in the confines of the right situation, it's all right. You good. You straight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. All right. So we gonna wrap it up, y'all. We having a lot of fun. We
Yeah.
hate that it has to come to an end this episode. And this is the last episode of the season. We
Yes.
go on our little holiday break. We got a lot of stuff that when we come back for the next season,
Got to fix some
that
work. Yeah.
is gonna be dope. We're
Be
actually
lo-
gonna
be
be
be on the
we're
lookout, man, because these ads gonna be hitting y'all
Well, yeah, we're
as we
still
come back.
gonna
Yeah.
have some of our favorite episodes. We're gonna replay them, so be on the lookout for those. And we also have some we might have some surprise episodes that we might run into. Just little, it might not be official Fiyah Session, what I'm saying, episodes, but just follow the channels. We might have some stuff that pop up in between because the first episode of next season will be our 150th episode.
Right.
So we're not talking about 150 episodes like some other podcasts, some other live shows. No knock to them, but a lot of them aren't live. We've been
Right.
doing this live.
Live.
So
Live.
we're gonna have our first episode of next season will be 150. So we're gonna do something special. So it's gonna be worth the wait. I promise you. We're gonna have laughs. We're gonna have education. As we always say, we put the medicine in the candy. But we got to go on a little break. And while we're on
Yeah.
that break, we're going to be doing something special. So stay tuned to all the channels because you're going to see some pictures and you're going to see some videos of us all together in
Right.
the same proximity, like not virtually. We're
Yeah.
physically going to be together.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be dope, and that's gonna be very special because we've been waiting on that for a minute.
Minute.
So
Right.
before we wrap up, Benji Banks, the man, the brand, my guy. I want to say this publicly to you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming in and riding with me on this journey, man. It means a lot.
Facts.
Me and Benji been knowing each other since we was kids. So we have a different connection, and people always point that out. They always say, you know, you and Benji, y'all go back and forth, and it's
Right.
amazing to watch y'all's chemistry. But I told them it's natural.
It's natural. It's
We
just there.
know
It's
it's
just
what's
there.
always been. So, but
Right.
I just want to say thank you to you, my brother. Thank you to Trisha Michelle for stepping in and doing
Yeah.
her job,
Yeah.
because
And
moving forward,
is this her? We coming up on our third season or a second season with us when we return.
third season.
Third
Third
season. She's been
season.
rocking with her for
Yeah,
third season.
yeah. So we locked in, y'all, and this is what you'll see. You know what I'm saying? You might see some guests come through. We're gonna
Right.
have some regulars, you know what I'm saying, popping up
Right.
that you've seen from the past. We might have a little reunion at some point, you know what I'm saying, with some of the former fire friends that haven't been on in a while. We're gonna bring them back. It's gonna be next season gonna be a doozy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we want y'all to stay locked in with us, and we appreciate the support. We appreciate the build that we've been going through. Even over the past couple of weeks, we've seen a lot of new people come in, and
Right.
we appreciate y'all. And we want y'all to stick with us and keep rocking with us, because we're gonna keep growing. We're gonna keep providing you quality content, and we just really appreciate y'all. So it's not just because we're trying to make money off of this, because to be quite honest, we don't make money off of this, man.
Right.
We do this because we love it, and we
Right.
love y'all, and we
Right.
love interacting with y'all, and we love talking to y'all. So that's why we do this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If money come with it later, cool. But for right now, we do it for the love. We
Right.
do it because this is what we enjoy.
Facts.
So, but again, Benji Banks, the man, the brand, love you, man. Appreciate you. Trisha Michelle, we're sad that you couldn't join us tonight, but we understand you're a little bit under weather.
Rick
She was
Ross
partying
hanging
hard.
out.
She's partying hard, lost her voice, so she couldn't join us
Party,
today.
party, party.
But trust me, next season she will be here. She will be on screen. So, fellas, you know what I'm saying? Don't be hitting me up. Now y'all know the drill. Tune
Go to
in,
season 3. You get what I'm saying? So
check her out, and I'll give you a little bit. I'll give y'all a little something. We're working on individual projects as well. So
facts.
we're gonna see some resurgence of maybe some old things, like if people have been rocking with Big Ken for a while. You remember You See It Live. You're gonna see a resurgence of that. Benji's working on a solo project. Y'all know how we
Right.
do with groups. You know what I'm saying? You have a group, and we're rocking together. But you
Facts.
got your solo projects. But
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, ain't no Michelle's up in here. We
Yeah.
all gonna come with top tier stuff. No knock to Michelle from Destiny's Child, but y'all always give Michelle
Giving her a
the
flag, right?
problem, right?
Right.
We ain't nobody on no lower level. Everybody's
Exactly.
rocking. Everybody gonna be on even playing field, and we're gonna put out quality content, and it's gonna be amazing. So again, we
That's facts.
appreciate y'all. Benji makes the man the brand. Talk to the people before we get up out of here.
Listen, man, we appreciate y'all again. And again, man, listen, Ken he puts the intro beat, he puts the ads together, he creates the stream, he puts it all together, man, and he comes out of his pocket for this. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate that. So to be able to kind of come on my platform and to be able to take our show and to be able to push it out and put our own money behind it, it's something, you know what I'm saying, we feel like, you know what I'm saying, should be done, right? So you're going to see our ads. You're going to see our stuff coming out. They'll be promoted on the Fiyah Session page, on my page. We're going to promote them on Instagram, wherever we can, man. We're going to put it out there. So y'all stay on the lookout. As you know, we're on Facebook. You can find me, Benji Banks. You can't miss me. Instagram, BRB4701. Tons of content is there. You know, you can find us on YouTube, all of that. And just want to say again, appreciate my boy Ken, but appreciate Trisha Michelle for kind of bringing the balance, you know what I'm saying, to the whole thing. And so look for some more dope guests, some stuff that we're looking to do, whether it be individualized. We still going to come together on Tuesdays, but we're going to bring some stuff so we can kind of continue to pull y'all in to what we're doing. And we are trying to do something special, you know what I'm saying? So with each of our projects. So we're looking forward to it, man. Just creating and continuing to create and giving y'all what y'all need. Y'all know y'all need us out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Facts.
Yeah.
All right. So Trish Michelle, put this in the comments. She said, "I appreciate y'all for inviting me to be a part of something so raw and entertaining, and now just a vibe and very much family. Thank you, Ken and Benji. Cheers to another great season." No
Yeah.
doubt, Trish
Go
Michelle.
ahead. Go ahead. It's
Trish
all
Michelle
right.
is definitely the balance to our
Yeah.
foolery. You know what I'm saying? She
Right.
brings her own vibe that
Right.
mellows things out. So we appreciate her again. Appreciate Benji. Y'all know y'all can catch me at Big Ken's Comedy on IG, Big Ken's Comedy on Twitter, Big Ken's Comedy on Facebook. Y'all can catch the Fiyah Session on all social media platforms. Just type in FIYAH and we'll pop right up. Make sure that you're following us on YouTube and Facebook and IG, because we gonna have different projects and different things going on at different times, and it might be on one and the other. So to make sure that you don't miss it, make sure you're following us on all the platforms. We appreciate y'all. All love. Stay tuned for new projects next season.
Yeah.
But we know the holidays coming up, so y'all be safe. It's wild out there. You know what I'm saying? There's wolves and people looking for the prey. So we want y'all to be careful. We want y'all to be safe. Most importantly, show you people love. We're going to keep putting the medicine in the candy, entertaining and educating. Y'all already know how we do it. It's the Fiyah Session. Peace.
Holla.
Thank you for joining us today. Please follow us on all social media platforms. Just search Fiyah Session.